ready for the Western Conference Finals, baby. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Currently watching the American National Anthem singer race her way through the Canadian National Anthem, because you know what? In America, the Canadian National Anthem is sort of like we have to do this. We got to do this, but we don't want to do this. But anyway, good evening. Hi, Adam Wylde here, hanging out with you for the rematch of Edmonton and Dallas. And I say rematch because these teams have played each other a lot, especially when I grew up. They played each other all the time, and there was that one series in 1997 that Curtis Joseph stole, absolutely robbed the Dallas Stars of a Game 7 victory. And in fact, the save that he made, the diving save, you should look it up on YouTube. It's unbelievable. It turned into Hockey Card of the Year that year for Topps. It was the best hockey card that year, and I had it. And then where did Cujo sign next? Toronto. That's right. That's right. Hi, guys. How's everybody? Are we good? Are we excited? Are we pumped? Let's go. Okay, so let's just check in with the chat here. All those hardworking construction workers still here. Who do you dislike more, Freddie Anderson or Attila the Hun? Attila the Hun. We'll put it that way. Also, we're using the wrong graphics, Aiden. We're using Rangers and Panthers graphics. I love that this is how we're starting, though. I do love that. I love that for us. I don't know what we need to do to change that. He's fixing it right now. But what I can tell you is producer Hayden has some surprises for you. And one of them is one that you've been asking for forever. And it should be at the top right of your screen right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a clock. That's right. You don't have to rely on me for doing this. No more of that. You can just align the streams. Now, I'm watching on the Ignite TV app, so I can be a little bit more up to date. So for those watching on ESPN in the States, you might actually be a little bit behind. Anybody watching on the Sportsnet app, you will be 45 seconds behind. But, this is what it's going to be. Jake Ottinger, looking at him, looking at Stuart Skinner, and I'm looking at a big difference in goaltending in this series, but a big difference in high-end talent, too. The Dallas Stars have a lot of really, really good players. The Edmonton Oilers have the two best ones. We'll see how it goes. Face-off going. Panthers, Rangers. Oh, that's right. Sorry. It's Dallas and Edmonton for the first time since 2003. And listen, most of those series haven't gone well. This goes all the way back to the North Stars taking on the Oilers in the 80s. 1984, the Edmonton Oilers swept the Minnesota North Stars, and the next victory they had was 1997. The Stars and Oilers played in 1991, and I believe that was the year that the North Stars went on to the Stanley Cup Final against the Pittsburgh Penguins, which they lost in 4 games. But it was a big one. All right, how we look? We're working on the graphics here. Hey, the new graphics are up. And the clock isn't updating, but listen, give producer Hayden time, okay? We already launched with the wrong graphics. So we got green graphics now because both teams have a little bit of green, or at least the Oilers used to. Now they're just like blue and orange again. But they used to have green. All right, and we got, so the overlay is corrected. And we got a clock happening. Guys, we're doing good. We're doing good. Clean back. Luke Davidson, clean black background makes me want to blaze it. By the way, Steve called me last night during the stream. I was not under the influence of edibles. I was tired. I wish I was cooler than that, but that is what it was. Nux fan, now Dallas Green. I'm not taking a side in this series. Actually, I am a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit pro Edmonton. You know why? Because freaking go Canada. I know a lot of Canadian fans don't want to hear that or want to do that, but you know what? Go Oilers. Go Oilers. I'm ready. I'm ready for a Canadian Stanley Cup. If it can't be the Leafs, might as well be Connor McDavid, who grew up a Leafs fan and will inevitably be a Leaf at some point in his career. We all know it's going to happen. Here we go. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup, just for the fact that the Dallas Stars have one of the best overall lineups in the NHL. And you just saw it there. Wow. 2 great shots by Ben. And was one by Ben and one by Dadonov. There's This is what's crazy about this team. As Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, not that they're bad, but they've faded towards the latter stages of their careers. They've been replaced by other guys like Wyatt Johnson and Jason Robertson and Logan Stankoven, Mason Marchment, former Leaf. Matt Duchene's here. Joe Pavelski. This is a team that is unbelievable. Another former Leaf. At least the pick that got him was Sam Steele. That was the Freddie Anderson trade. They used that to select Sam Steele, and he was an Anaheim Ducks selection. How do I know that? I don't know much, but I know that. Can you do a time countdown to sync? I sure can, but our clock is actually going to update. So Ben and Seguin both had that crazy hip surgery. I believe they did. The resurfacing. Anyway. Guys, so happy that you're here. We're going to have some fun. Go Oil from a Leafs fan. Respect us now, please. Luke Davidson, no chance. They're not going to respect us until we earn it like they have earned ours. And we got to earn that by succeeding in the playoffs. Yay, Toronto. I'm excited to watch this kind of go together because you know what? Sometimes in the playoffs, you get like a Cinderella run like you did with the Panthers last year. But when you look under the hood, it's not as Cinderella as you'd think because they won the Jack Adams the year before, made the second round, got swept by Tampa, and then got Tkachuk and were even better. Oh, Nuge almost had one just a little bit wide. And sometimes it's good to just see two heavyweights go head to head. Although we're almost 4 minutes in and Dallas has 3 shots, Edmonton none. Dallas done a really, really good job kicking off and creating chances early. But I mean, it's early. What do we even say? I think I love game ones because it's both teams just kind of getting to know each other. Oh, little knockdown there by Evander Kane. Cycle back behind the net. Okay, this is the first Oilers line to actually get something going here. Holloway, Draisaitl, Evander Kane. Holloway to Kane. Ooh, sneaky little shot. And there's the playoff leading scorer, Leon Draisaitl, setting up in his office, which is a super weird spot on the ice that he seems to be the only one who can score from. Almost a 90-degree angle from the net on the right-hand side. Heiskanen around. Did Cece touch that, or is that an icing? That's an icing. Well, hello, everybody. Edmonton is just not shooting. Okay, yo, PJ, let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. It's early. We're 5 minutes in. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's 10:45 a.m. on Friday here. Sean, which part of Asia are you tuning in from? Because that's the only place it could be. Steve Dangle's mighty roar. 5 gifted to call Steve and ask if his washer and dryer are washing and drying his clothes well. Also, how do you plan to pass Steve in being the Riz King? Is Steve now the Riz King? I don't know if that was ever confirmed that Steve was the Riz King. You're going to do 5 gifted subs? 5 gifted subs, huh? Okay. Let me call him.
Hello?
Is your washer and dryer, are they washing and drying your clothes well?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Also, was it confirmed that you are the Riz King, or is that title still up for debate?
I am not the Riz King.
You're not the Riz King.
I am the Riz Emperor.
Oh, you're the Riz Emperor. So so you own an empire of Riz, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I am the Riz Pyre State Building.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. Bye.
Peace.
All right, there you go. See, I did it. Thank you, Steve's Mighty Might Roar. 5 gifted memberships to a whole bunch of people who have not tried them. Stars fan in Melbourne, Australia. Oh, my goodness. Hey, let's do a check-in. Where's everybody coming in from? And by the way, you're hanging out with me the entire series. I'm making you. You're going to come hang out with me. You have to. Steve is a Riz King. Steve as Riz King is Cap. For real. On God. 13:51 left in the first period. Edmonton does have a shot, but let's be honest, Dallas has started really, really well here. Wouldn't call it dominating quite yet, but they've created some opportunities. What do we got here? All right, here we go. Sam Carrick, the fourth line with the big turnover. Here's a question. Oh, okay, here we go. We got Tillsonburg, Ontario, Lakes Entrance, Australia, Boston, Quebec City, Detroit, St. John's, Newfoundland, Melbourne, Southwest Florida. Which part of Southwest Florida? Leduc, Alberta. What's up, Leduc? Southern Indiana, Tucson, Arizona. Are you guys losing the Roadrunners? Are they going to Tempe? Because that's wrong. I'm actually listening from the Riz Empire State Building. Pender Island, BC, Germany. We're in Germany. Germany's a big place. Coming at you from the Neil Young concert. Enjoy none of his hits. Enjoy none of them. He can still perform, though, but enjoy none of his hits on this tour. You will get no hits. You will not even get Rockin' in the Free World. You cannot rock in the Free World anymore. We will not have that. Nisku, Alberta, In Your Walls, Boston. True. True. Wichita, Kansas. King City, which is just north of Toronto. Vegas. Bloor and Dundas. Like right in Bloor Dundas? Cool. Some nice buildings in there. Are you one of those swanky condos? Evander Kane with the first guy to go to the box. Is the first guy to go to the box. And that is, that's a bit of an elbow forearm to the face. You can't call it forearming. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but you can't call it that. So it is elbowing. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Love that. J.U. Wang, Adam, your game is finally not delayed. Isn't that great? I know, because I'm watching on the Ignite app because they want you to not watch on Sportsnet Plus or Sportsnet Now or whatever the heck they call it. San Jose, Kaliningrad. No, you're not watching from Kaliningrad. Stop it. I don't even think that's the city name anymore. I love Pierre-Luc Dubois being in this chat. I am going to miss our Brock Besser. Our Brock Besser was cool. Mike from Prince Edward Island. Mike, I'm not pronouncing your entire name because I know what you're doing with that. Forearming. Stop it. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Adam, I have a question. I bet a friend $20 that Marner would be traded before game 1 of the season. Shouldn't be worried. Dustin, I would not be worried. I would be shocked if he's still a Leaf. I'm watching from Constantinople. No, sir, it's Istanbul since the 1920s when Mustafa Kemal renamed it. It's the real PLD. That's right, it is. Birmingham, Alabama. Yes. Love a Southern American hockey fan. By the way, hockey in the Southern United States is exploding, and we love that. Freaking love that. From the American Airlines Center. Martin? No. Jackson Lee from Scarberia, my hometown. Scarborough. Is forearming why you are the Riz King? It could be. It could be. Our Brock Besser should have some time before. I'm Jesse Blake. I'm watching from Prussia. Jesse, point out Prussia on a map. Jesse Blake, point it out, and then tell me about its historical significance in the unification of Germany after the Franco-Prussian War in 1871. Tell me about that. I'm kidding. I would never make you do that. It's boring. History corner. We want a history corner. No, Michael. We have game. We have history making, but I'll do history corner and intermissions if you guys want to. Totally down. Totally down. We're going to play some clips from the show and we're going to watch some hockey, and Dallas is on a power play and life is good. We're watching hockey. The sun is still out in Toronto. Life is good. Were the Leafs ever as bad as the Ducks have been the past few seasons? That's from JW33. No, the Leafs have only really finished last place in the modern era once, and that was the year they got Austin Matthews. And that was actually statistically one of the most competitively balanced years in NHL history, meaning that the Leafs are one of the best last place teams by points percentage all time. Why do I know that? It's because sometimes you really gotta reach for positivity as a Leaf fan. But there's good things. This is a pretty flaccid PP from Dallas. Well, you hope that they can get it going in the last minute here after the forearming call. We've got the second Dallas power play unit out here, which I like Dallas's power play deployment because they actually compete for ice time. There's a lot of teams that just stack their top power play, which I would have thought is the smart thing to do. Oh, baby, we almost had a goal there. Oh, Steve's calling. It's
the power play, eh?
Hey, shut up. I'm already on the power play. It's 26 seconds to go.
No, I know. Just don't. It's important you don't mess this up.
Okay. Thanks, Dad.
All right. Hey, is your refrigerator running?
Yes.
Well, that's great. That's what they're supposed to do. Congrats on buying a quality product.
Bye. I still think the current Dallas Stars logo stinks. I am with you. I don't like it either. But you know what? Dallas fans like it, and good for you. You know, Dallas actually has similar colors to my favorite racing team, McLaren, this weekend, who are honoring Ayrton Senna in Monaco. Fun fact. Green and yellow. Kind of just, actually, a bunch of people putting Subway logos behind them, like photoshopping it. Kind of looks like that. Draisaitl out. Oh, that's going to be an icing. Did you hear about the Draisaitl to San Jose rumors from the Jeff Merrick show a few days ago? Yes. And I have actually been hearing about those rumors for months. That's not new. It's just not been reported all that much. So interestingly, a company called SAP owns the Sharks, or at least the owner of SAP owns the Sharks, and he's German. And so, the amount of people at the highest level of hockey who are of German ancestry is a really small group right now. That won't be like that forever, but it's a small group right now, especially in North America. So yeah, Leon knows the owner, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense after next year. But if the Oilers go ahead and win some cups, it doesn't have to happen that way. They're just going to have to make this happen. Woo, here we go. McDavid. Woo. Oh. Guys, if we get to 100 gifted subs, Adam has to put ketchup on a very sus food item that he has in his house. Well, I'm actually at work, and I don't even know if we have ketchup here. We might have mustard, though. And I could put that on like a Fig Newton. Steve keeps buying Fig Newtons for snacks around here. So I will eat a mustard-flavored Fig Newton if we get to 100 gifted subs tonight. We'll absolutely do that. 9:25 left in the first period. Dallas has been, I would say, winning possession, and they also drew a penalty, but it's been a bit back and forth. Oilers haven't got a lot going on offense. It's about all if you're just tuning in, if you're just getting into it. And we just got an Marchman, I think, just dumped the puck. We got icing. Adam, do you work at Neil Young's house? No, I do not. Are you at the Neil Diamond concert? No. Adam, you're going to have to eat that with your grippers. It's for the content. No. Listen, you know what the rule is for the grippers. You want grippers, you got to get me to 1,000 likes. You don't get me to 1,000 likes, no grippers. Just saying. Jesse, the Pop-Tarts are downstairs. Okay. I am not the biggest Pop-Tart guy. Is that wrong? I like them. But I'd much rather eat a Fig Newton. Or whatever they're called. They're like fig snacks from Costco that Steve keeps buying. Adam, if you can't afford the apples, just say so. We will start a GoFundMe to help me out. Pierre-Luc Dubois, you have enough money to buy so many apples. So many apples. Gravely Diggs, I could have warned you about the Neil Young concert. Well, yeah, you could have, but you probably didn't know that I was going. I probably should have checked the set list, though. Guy like Neil, you got to be careful. By the way, did I tell you guys that my car was broken into yesterday? I said it on the VIP episode, which I think came out today, but I went out to the car and somebody smashed my back rear window. And I was like, oh. And the first person I called, was it my wife? No. Was it the cops? No. It was Jesse Blake. And I said, hey, man, I might be late. But I wasn't. And I got it all fixed. I went to Speedy Glass today. Super exciting day, let me tell you. I'm so excited to be here with you because I'm telling you, running that through insurance, while easy, is kind of boring. This is way more fun. Watching Vinny Desharnais and Darnell Nurse struggle in their own zone while Dallas dominates play. Way more fun. Way more fun. Did you know the Vampire Blues was written in 1974, not a new tune? No, I didn't. That's one that I missed. It still was weird. Listen, I love Neil Young, and I'll go deep into the catalog. I'm not like a biblical Neil Young fan, but I love him enough that I own multiple albums and have it on vinyl and all those things. Total hipster about it. It's a letdown of a concert. Call Safelite for your auto glass needs. Well, I didn't. I called Speedy. Adam, did you check the set list for the other nights that Neil Young was here just to see if he did any other hits? No. So apparently on the entire tour, this is the way it's going to be. I did see, though, a few nights ago, he did Rockin' in the Free World, which is really, I know that's one of his most popular songs, but that is my favorite Neil Young song because it's absolutely awesome and one of the greatest rock riffs of all time. Just to see that would have been worth the price of admission. But no, I'd rather go slow. Boring. Steve's Mighty Might Roar. Steve smashed your window. Everyone knows this because Jesse rizzed up Adam, which caused him to commit to LSU. Steve got jealous and sigma'd your window. How do you sigma somebody's window? What does that even mean? WWCP, what would Corey Perry do? Well, in these playoffs, not much. Corey Perry is going to have to get a little nasty in this series because Edmonton, like Jamie Benn, is he's going to break somebody's neck one of these days if he keeps cross-checking people like this. And if you're Corey Perry, you need to be neutralizing that. And you're on the third line. And so is he. So you're going to get matched up a lot. Actually, sorry. Corey Perry is not playing tonight. So not much he can do from the bench. I'm wondering when Adam Henrique's going to come back. Have we heard that? Be nice to have him in the lineup. Oh, hey, let's play a game. Justin is asking me, and he's going to gift some subs if I get it right. Who will score first for Edmonton? Who will score first for Dallas? My Dallas pick is Logan Stankoven because I love saying his last name, Stankoven. Put some Stankoven. And for Edmonton, Leon Draisaitl. Those are my picks. Leif Opstad. Hey, Adam, can we get Lando on Nailing the Apex soon? He was on last year with Tim. I will put in the request to Tim, see if we can get that, because Tim actually is able to get some pretty crazy interviews. I'm always blown away. It's easier to get Formula One interviews for that podcast than it is to get NHL interviews ever. Don't get it. Oh, here we go. I might have been wrong about who's scoring. Hyman with a really good chance. Blocked, though. Bouchard out at the point. There's McDavid. And he gets it. It's a bummer. That little 20-second spurt there by the Oilers was the best they've looked all period. Bouchard telling them to move. I think Edmonton's going to try to set up quickly in this series. I don't think they want Dallas to have the opportunity to deploy their defense the way they want to. Try to use your speed and generate a lot off the rush because you do have the horses to do that, especially with that McDavid line. It's going to be interesting to see how Dallas does it, honestly. Warren Fogle out. Over for Kulak, who was pinching. Here's Ceci. So I guess Paul Coffey, they said on the broadcast, Paul Coffey's been telling Cody Ceci to shoot more because he's got a bit of a bomb. And lo and behold, game 7, what does he do? What does he do? Big goal. I don't know if it was going on goal, but big goal. Perry should be in some games. He can score clutch goals and cause havoc. Yeah, he probably should, but he's got to do something with his time. Like, I just watched an entire series against Vancouver where he could have got in their face and got in their brains and probably ended that series a little bit earlier. Woo, good play by Darnell Nurse to break that up. That was looking scary. Was that Harley that was in, or was that Johnson that was in? Anyway, long story short, Corey Perry was not a menace. He was decidedly un-Corey Perry, and that was strange. It's been strange to watch. Hasn't been the best fit in Edmonton. Still feel like he's a valuable piece. You just need to find a role that works for him. I wonder if he goes back to a team like Tampa. He had a few great years there, and I just feel like, guaranteed to go to the playoffs, guaranteed to play the Leafs at some point. He's really good at fucking with the Leafs. Sorry, I should stop swearing. He's really good at messing with the Leafs, but you all know what I mean. There's Draisaitl. Ooh, with a shot. Only our 7th shot this period. Bit of a feeling each other out period so far. Although we're seeing a little bit more skating. 4th line out there. Faxa, Steele, Craig Smith. Ekholm up. 3:40 left in the first period if you want to sync streams. Oh, apparently I missed a super chat. Sorry. Sierra Marlowe. Hey, what's going on? I wanted to thank you for mentioning my jaw injections. My boyfriend has the same issues and thought it was TMJ. I told him about the muscle thing. It's a mastectomy muscle, by the way, and how the shots helped you. And he just had his first shots today. Well, I wish him the best of luck. When you get Botox in your jaw, when you've got a overdeveloped mastectomy, when you do this, and then the doctor will be like, okay, clench. And then they'll feel around. They'll be like, okay, there it is. And they do a little X on your face and then a little X, and then they inject. It takes a couple weeks for it to kick in fully. But I noticed relief within, a couple days. And my life has never been the same. Started getting them done in 2022. I used to have headaches every single day. It's terrible. Jesse's telling everybody to hit like and subscribe. Like for Gripper content. Subscribe for more Gripper content. We get 1,000 subs. Imagine the Gripper content I can give you. Just saying. And Seb, 95. Don't tell me what to do, Jesse. Damn, Jesse. Stop being everyone's dad. Maybe chill. Jesse. Maybe don't tell people how to live their lives, Jesse. How about that? Ty Smith, Jesse Blake, have you won the cup yet? Ooh, the chirps are coming in for Jesse. Why are we going after Jesse? We're going after Jesse like that? Wow. Amy Jo Green, I always do what Jesse Blake says. Hashtag grab people. Said and done on 2 accounts, Mr. Blake. Well, thank you very much for that. Pierre-Luc Dubois, have you ever thought about chilling, Jesse? Wow. Here we go. Very much a feel this out vibe going on right now. Even the refs are like, should we call something? And they really only called. I'm glad that they haven't been like the last. Because am I wrong? Did Vancouver get like a bunch of? They got a bunch of penalties in game one, right? It was like, wasn't it like 6 minutes in a period, like the first period? I can't believe that series is already over. It's crazy. Anyway, the refs seem to have put their whistles away. Nothing silly called, which is good. The Evander Kane one was a you have to call that kind of call. Oh, look at the crab people coming in hard on the stream. Damn, look at all the crab people hanging out. Friday, 6:30 p.m. Cup Final stream. Oh, baby. I hope you guys are ready. Jesse, why aren't you a member? Jesse, that's a good question. Why aren't you a member? Why aren't you highlighted in green? Is that because you're a mod and then mods are a different color? Question mark. Here we go. 2:44 left. McDavid. Oh. Shot just kind of slides in. I don't even know if they count that as a shot. Wow. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Here comes Mason Marchment. Cross. Nice little shot on Stuart Skinner. There is not a lot happening in this game, guys. For a series with this much hype, and there's been a lot of hype, and there should be a lot of hype, this has been a little bit of a slow start. I think we're going to need to do something in the second period. Nobody wants to be the first one to make a mistake. I get that. But like at a certain point, we're going to have to play some hockey here. Woo! Sorry about the yawn. You know what happens. It's after 9 o'clock, and dads used to go into bed early. Not this early, though. It's nice that they've taken the Western Conference games and not put them at midnight. I'm thrilled about that. I don't know how Oilers fans feel about watching their team at, it's only 7:10. Yeah, it's fine. How do you feel about a 6 p.m. game start, Oilers and Dallas fans? It's good, right? It's not bad. Kids can watch. The Leafs game, they never start that at 6. I would love if they started Leafs games at 6. I wouldn't feel so guilty about putting Everly to bed because she doesn't get to watch. Not yet, anyway. Bedtime, 7 o'clock, strict. Everyone tickled Jesse for not being a member. Adam, we had to sit through 7 games of Leafs versus Bruins. Don't tell me about slow starts. Yo, the Bruins didn't start slow. Oh, here we go. Here comes McDavid. Oh, baby. Oh, that was cool. Almost. Was that McDavid? I don't know. No, it wasn't. That was Ward Fogle. Mick Fogle. Cody Ceci, Darnell Nurse, bit of a floater, off a body. Oh, we got a penalty, and it looks like it's going to be Dylan Holloway. Oh, no. 1 minute and 32 seconds left. You do not want to let in a goal right now. Yeah, Warren Fogle had a great opportunity here. Look at that. What happened? Oh, the puck just went right over his stick. Oh, man, that sucks. Oh, that was a guaranteed goal. And then Holloway takes this penalty, which that should not be a penalty. That's not holding. This is Jamie Benn we're talking about. Get out of here. That's crap. Oh, Natalie gifted 10 memberships. I believe that's my Natalie. Thank you. Thank you, honey. That would be my wife. Hi, Natalie. Adam Wylde, is this stream for your VIP box seats? It is not. Unless you want to count the SDPN World Headquarters as my VIP box seats, which, I mean. By the way, if you just got a membership, that was from my wife. That's a soft-ass call. If you're an Oiler fan, you have every right to be pissed. If you're a Dallas Stars fan, take it, enjoy it, love it, run with it. but know that it is coming back your way in the second period. That ref's not going to feel good about that call. That was a bad call. You know, the one thing I'll say is the Oiler PK is impressive for two reasons. Number one, their ability to stop you up at the blue line as you're making your zone entry. They're really, really good at breaking that up. They've done that a couple of times to Dallas already tonight. The other thing is they are so aggressive on the puck carrier. As soon as you have the puck, they're skating directly at you. And what I like about that is it forces the puck handler to make a play and usually make a mistake. Sometimes you get burned doing that, but the Oilers have the horses that, ooh, good save by Skinner there on Seguin. Wow. Good save. Good save. I doubt Kelly Sutherland feels bad about any call. Yo, Kelly Sutherland, man. He's the boogeyman for Vancouver fans. I don't know how he does with Oilers, but I don't think Vancouver's ever won a game with him reffing in the playoffs, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Bailey Carson, do you guys also get a piece of Live Golf? No, we do not. Steve didn't negotiate that for us. Saudi Steve. Unbelievable. Richard Tofino, we hit double-digit shots for the period combined. Yeah, this feels like Nashville. It feels like Nashville, Vancouver. Just a snore, except for the Warren Fogle breakaway. Oh, maybe we got something here. One more save at the end there. Nothing. Oh, a little bit of hate there at the end. Well, I like that. All right. So let's be honest. That's a typical first period of a first game of a series. Not a lot of hate yet. Not a lot of trends emerging. Not a lot going on. Just a lot of back and forth of nothing. Yeah, some good saves, whatever, but I don't know. I was hoping for more fireworks than that. Sometimes it's cool. Like I will say, Toronto Boston started really, really hot. Like they were in each other's shit right away. I think Toronto and Boston both had 50 hits that game. They were all over each other. Dallas Edmonton's like, no, I'm going to sit back, let this game come to me a little bit. Boo. Boo. Oilers need to start hitting from Mark. I don't know if hitting is the Oilers' game. There are players on the Oilers who can hit. Like, I would expect Darnell Nurse to lay somebody out. I would expect Vinny Desharnais to pin you in the corner. CC's not untough. Ekholm can be tough. But, like, up front, Evander Kane did throw a couple hits in the first period and the forearm. Other than that, they're not a big hitting team. Alexander Stark, Oilers aren't allowed to do anything without getting called. Yo, let me just say that that second call was BS on Dylan Holloway. It's crap. Yeah, it's crap. Corey Perry, Hank Barber, like Corey Perry, as in like hitting like Corey Perry. Corey Perry doesn't hit. Corey Perry spears. Corey Perry elbows. He'll kick you. He'll bite you. So, yeah, no. Corey Perry's not a big, like, I'm going to throw a big hit. Graham Strang giving you 5 of the $200 I saved by not buying Neil Young tickets thanks to you. Listen, I'm not trying to stop people from going to a Neil Young concert. I just want you to be prepared for what you're getting for your money in a way that I was not. That's all I want to say. I'm not here to bash Neil Young. I freaking love Neil Young and have loved him basically since we started listening. And it was just, I was a kid when I started listening to that guy. But it's just kind of a shame. Kind of a shame. Okay, so for our first clip tonight, since everybody has been asking us, and you've been asking me every stream, this is the first stream. Actually, no, I was asked about this on the stream. Mitch Marner, Toronto Maple Leafs, potential trade. And I've been avoiding this topic on the podcast for a bunch of reasons. One of them being, whenever you do trade projections or you try to make a trade for somebody, it just devolves into, hey, this would be an interesting piece from that team. and it's all in theory. And then fans from that team go, you don't know crap. RGM would never. And then you got Leaf fans going, but he's got a no move. Forgetting, of course, that people waive no moves and no trade clauses all the time. I don't know. I've been avoiding it, perhaps wrongly, but we were asked like 30 times about it, so we did it. So let's run that clip now. I'm going to make myself a coffee, and we'll be back and get ready for that second period. If you're going to get Mitch Marner, you're one of two things. You're a team that is already very good and had a disappointing first round, or you're a team that thinks we're ready to make the jump. So there are two teams that instantly stick out to me. One of them is obvious because they're them and this is what they always do. But the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh, my God.
Just won a cup.
No way.
Just won a cup. And you got to be thinking, listen, what star have they not been in on? At least made a phone call. They were a draft pick away.
That is very fair.
From Erik
very
Karlsson.
fair.
So you know Vegas is calling.
That's very fair.
And is there an opportunity for Toronto to get, and again, you have to get somebody good back, like real good.
They've traded
because they just signed
future.
They just signed Noah Hanifin to that extension. So where does that put Shea Theodore?
That would be frigging great.
Shea Theodore, who's a year older than Hanifin, who makes 5.2 for one more year. Again, where does that put, a guy like, is there a more of a depth thing where Toronto just grabs? Because remember, it's not going to just be money in, money out, right?
Well,
Toronto's goal here is to get some cap flexibility.
I want Nick Hague.
You want
I want Nick Hague.
Nick Hague. I like that.
I want Shea Theodore or Braden McNabb. Like Shea Theodore's got to be a piece, and
you're gonna get like a D pair from Vegas,
and then one of Nick Hague or McNabb.
You need like a Theodore, and he's amazing, and I get it. But like you need something like that and some cap, right? Because here's the thing: Toronto doesn't want to take anybody's dead cap anymore, unless they're moving some significant piece. Like the only was it Arpin and Mark Anton were talking about the fact that Tavares to the Canadians, if he would waive, might make sense because the Canadians desperately want to get out from under Carey Price's contract. And Toronto could afford the dead cap. But, sorry, that's not dead cap. That's LTIR. But Toronto actually would like to take a swing at, from what I'm hearing, actually being under the cap. And accruing deadline cap space.
This tap dance every year where they literally can't do business because they're so up against the cap is bullshit.
Yeah. It worked for when they had David Clarkson, and they had to.
Yeah, but the stuff with like Matthew Nyes and like having to ice university goalies and everyone's fine. And
that was Dubas's thing. Treliving didn't do that.
No, I know, but like, even this year, like they weren't able to rest guys at all. Like it was just.
I think that they ideally would not do that again. So unless it's like a major move off of that.
Would it be such a disaster to retain on Marner or Tavares?
Yes, it would be an absolute disaster to retain on Marner.
For 1 year.
You do not retain on Marner. You are not retaining on a 99-point player.
Yeah.
The year before. Not last year. He got injured this year.
Erik Karlsson.
You're not
retained on.
Yeah, but Erik Karlsson was 33. He had a busted.
I know the difference.
He can't even pivot.
I know the difference.
And he's still very good.
No,
you're not retaining on Mitch Marner. Absolutely not. The team is taking him. And by the way, the trade's going to happen July 2nd or July 3rd once the bonus is paid.
I mean, that definitely makes the most sense.
And so when people say, the teams can't afford. Oh, no. I think that there's plenty of teams that can afford the cap hit if they don't have to pay it.
You can also go 10% over the cap, which the Leafs can go something like $8 million over the cap.
Here's another team that makes a whole ton of sense to me. If they could get some finish in there. Weirdly enough, the New York Islanders, I look at.
Wow.
And I think, here's the thing. The Islanders have enough playmakers. They need some goal scorers, but they need to overhaul their offense. Patrick Waugh is going to be very involved in that. He likes guys that can finish. If you have a lineup with Barzal and Marner in 1 and 2 in the lineup.
Fun. It'd be fun to watch.
That's a Lou guy. Marner, Lou was there. I mean, I don't know if they're huge fans of each other because Lou stiffed him on his rookie bonuses.
Schedule B, shut up.
But, that's one I look at. To the Colorado Avalanche with, unfortunately what's happened with Nichushkin.
Do they go, we don't have him for the start of next year?
That's very interesting.
Do you want to make a move? So I don't think it's going to be some team with a bunch of cap space. I think it's going to be a team that's like, we're really good and this is a core piece of an organization. And what I think is going to happen here is Mitch is going to go to an organization that has some tough guys built in, that has a culture, that has this, has that, and he's going to thrive in the playoffs. He's going to be spectacular. Wherever he goes, my belief is that Leaf fans are going to go, what the hell, where was that? And it's because when you look at the way the Leafs surrounded him with, going up against those Boston teams and Columbus, Montreal was just, unfortunately, he and Matthews just didn't show up that series the way they needed to. I think there's going to be, if you have guys around them that make space, this is a guy that, Colorado to me makes a ton of sense.
Colorado is very interesting, Adam. Also a team that is sneakily in on everything, whether or not it works out. And when a good player is available, they typically go, hello, we would like them. Carolina.
Yeah, I can see that. Just can't see them wanting to pay his extension. And I think he's not going anywhere unless that extension is signed, and I don't blame him. Because to me, if you're Mitch, you will never have better you will never, ever, ever have a better sense and a better way to negotiate your contract than right now. It's even better than free agency because when you trade for somebody who is a free agent or a pending free agent, so if you trade for somebody who's an RFA, the RFA has all the negotiation power. Why? Because you just traded for them. What are you going to do? Not sign them?
How about Seattle?
Well, but think about Marner. So you're going to trade him with a year left on his deal. So you're going to give up real assets for Mitch Marner. If you're the acquiring team,
You have to have a good.
you just better pay him whatever he asks.
Yeah.
Because if you pay all that and lose him, and by the way, Mitch is going to fetch a lot of stuff.
I don't think it needs to be a contender.
I think it more than likely is a team that is we believe we're a piece away. And I don't think he's going to want to go to a team that isn't.
I don't think a team that is a piece away needs an $11 million player. You know what I mean? A team that is a piece away needs to tinker, right? Like this is seismic. Like you're going to have to trade off your roster more than likely for this. And if anyone's going to be able to pull that off, it's Vegas, like you said. But some teams just need a marquee guy. I think Seattle's one of those guys or one of those teams. They need a marquee guy.
Imagine him and Jared McCann just finishing the Leafs off.
Oh my God.
Jared just getting 50 goals and yeah.
Here's
what I think.
Columbus.
My archetype. No, Columbus is not a chance. Nobody wants to go to Columbus. Never even if there's a free agent that went to Columbus, it's against their will.
I don't think
that team is so poorly run. It's embarrassing and everybody knows it. The secret's out. Let me say this. Here's why I'm making this the Mitch Marner proposal. If we're going to do this, is I look at the Florida Panthers who won the President's Trophy and said, yes, we'll take Matthew Tkachuk.
Right.
We'll trade Huberdeau, who just had the best season of his life. We will trade him because we want Matthew Tkachuk. And I'm not saying Mitch Marner is Matthew Tkachuk. I'm just saying they're both extraordinarily valuable players. And look at what Florida's done with Matthew Tkachuk.
But Florida wasn't a piece away. That's a huge deal. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you could argue that they would. How could you argue against that? They just won the President's Trophy.
I think a piece away, the definition of that to me is we're almost there. We just need this one thing. Not we're going to trade a 115-point left winger and like our second defenseman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what Florida did, and they came out the other side.
Yeah, they won the
for
deal.
them.
They did great.
Oh yeah, but like I just don't think that's one piece away. A lot of people have suggested Utah. I don't think that's totally stupid.
I think that's actually very intelligent. It's a question of what do they give back? Because there was Clayton Keller. I think if Utah gets Marner, they want to keep Keller.
I don't know enough about the politics, but Utah strikes me as a state with probably light taxes.
I don't know. I have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like you're also going to want to maximize your dollar.
I did love the Bleacher Report. Was it Hannah Stewart put together? And
yes,
she had Kerfoot going back the other way for Marner,
which was evil.
And I was
told her,
Hannah, come on,
evil.
Hannah Marner?
No, as a part of a package, but it was just like I think she was just trolling Leaf fans. What's going on? Are we back? Yeah. Listen, I seem to have upset with the previous clip a Columbus Blue Jacket fan, Mackie Colvin, because I said, listen, the Columbus Blue Jackets are poorly run. And they are. If you want proof of this, I didn't just make it up. But there are many people who will tell you, not publicly, that they are. Who are well connected in hockey circles because I talked to them. And then the other thing is Aaron Portzline did an article, I want to say a month and a half ago, right at the end of the season. And he talked about, I think the article for The Athletic is called The Columbus Blue Jackets, the Team Parody Forgot. And, this team's been around since pre-salary cap, but they're really poorly run and have been for a long, long time. And I don't mean just player personnel, which is also an issue. They do have a lot of talent on the roster, and they draft well. But they hired Mike Babcock after talking to exactly one or two people about Mike Babcock. We've gone through this whole thing. We've litigated this whole thing. Again, I don't hate your favorite team. It's that they are objectively a poorly run organization who rarely makes the playoffs, and when they do, they're out in the first round. Take it from a guy who watches a team that's always first and out. I hand to God. Listen, if anybody's an expert on poorly run franchises, it should be Leaf fans. We know when something stinks, man. We lived it. We're living it now. I mean, they're better run now than they used to be. Oh, my God. They used to be so poorly run. Yikes. Anyway. I'm same poorly built boat you're in with the Leafs. Yeah. Listen, here's the issue. Let's talk Columbus for a second since we're on the subject. The issue is the same guy that hired Jarmo Kekalainen and kept him there for 10 years with next to no success. They did have that amazing comeback against Tampa. Or they not comeback. They swept them. Reverse swept them? I can't even remember anymore. COVID screwed me up. And then they had the big win against the Leafs in the play-in round. Remember that year that they were not looking like they were going to make the playoffs. Neither did the Leafs. They were looking like crap. Other than that, what do you have to hang your hat on? And you could say the same about the Leafs, but the Leafs fired their general manager and they fired their coach. They've been through 2 general managers in that time. Jarmo Kekalainen was there the entire time. And they weren't even making the playoffs most of the time. Like, what have they even done since Torts left? So my thing is, and I hear complaints from people, like there are, like, the thing about Columbus is it's not like I don't like Columbus fans. Columbus fans have always been super cool. It's the team's poorly run, and I think it's time for John Davidson to go. That's what I think. That's a great ownership group who lets hockey people do hockey things, which is great. I think John's been there too long. I think nothing's happened. I think the owner has foregone a lot of playoff revenue because they can't make it. And I mean, look at what happened last year. They bring in all this talent, Provorov and Goodbranson and Gaudreau, and over the last couple of years, how many people they brought in, and it stinks. And they bring in the coach to, and the coach is scrolling through people's phones. And so they have to bring somebody else in who isn't really supposed to be the coach. And that stinks too. And the guy that they replaced Tortorella with, that guy stunk too. And Columbus Blue Jackets fans were the first one to complain about him before he even coached the game. That's all I'm saying. It's not the GM anymore. It's the guy at the top. We're having the same problem here in Toronto. I'm not sure it's quite that bad because the Leafs make $1 bajillion and have been an extraordinarily successful regular season team. But there's questions about Shanny right now. And I think, it was cool. Watching the press conference with CJ, CJ went right at Shanny, and not in a mean way, just like, what's your contract status? And I know for a fact that Shanny's in the last year of his deal, and he said, I'm not worried about that. And I like that. I like that he's not worried about that because he should be just worried about winning. Because if he wins, he gets a new contract, right? So I kind of like that. I'm glad he wasn't angling for a new deal. He hasn't earned one yet. And he makes a lot of money doing what he does. See if he's worth it. And this new guy, Keith Pelly, who's running the Leafs, I can tell you for a fact, because I have worked for him,
that guy's ultra decisive. He when he makes a decision, he makes it with relevant facts. He makes it quickly, and he expects people to jump on board immediately and get going. I respect that about him. I do. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing against the Blue Jackets themselves. Just a poorly run team. Right now. It can change. Let's start the second period. Let's talk about Dallas and Edmonton. And now, not a lot happened in the first. Dallas is on their second power play here, but it's going to run out in about 20 seconds. And unless they can get some sort of zone entry control, which they have not been able to get on either power play against Edmonton. I mean, I think so far for Edmonton, that's been the highlight of the game, is their penalty kill. The rest of it, Edmonton hasn't got much done on offense. Dallas has got a little bit more, couple of chances, but really, really tentative first period. Stuart Skinner and Jake Ottinger not really tested all that much. There was one goal. Warren Fogle had a break. It should have gone in, just went over his stick. It is what it is. It happens. It is what it is. Andrew Bouchane. CBJ needs a good goalie. Yeah, so do the Leafs. I get that. I think, you know who I think is potentially going to Columbus as your GM? Well, so Ken Holland is up in Edmonton, and I don't think he's going to be back. I think Jeff Jackson takes that over. And I think Ken Holland to Columbus makes a lot of sense. And I think Don Waddell in Carolina to Columbus makes a lot of sense because you want a veteran general manager who's had a lot of regular season success, because you can't have playoff success until you have regular season success, right? Both of those candidates or both guys together could be very interesting. Ooh, here we go. Oilers score. It's Leon Draisaitl. Justin, gift those subs, baby. Gift those subs. Called it, baby. Woo! And look at that shot of the Rogers viewing party in Edmonton, Alberta. I love that. I love that. That's big, baby. That's big. Allie Quinn, can we get an Adam Wylde face-off clap for sometime this period? I missed the clap. Sure. You missed the clap. You shouldn't. You shouldn't miss the clap. You should get rid of the clap. We also have a clock this period, which is great. Hayden's going to be updating it. So right now, it is actually 19:02 left in the second period. That is primo Leon Draisaitl goal. And let me say this. I think he's at 8 or 9 multi-point games in the playoffs so far, and I think he's played 12 or 13. Guy is like 80% of the time when he scores, and he has scored in every single game. He's had a point in every single game. When he scores, 80% of the time it's a multi-point game. So that bodes well for Edmonton. We love this. Justin Fisher gifting memberships as he said he would. Yes, we have a clock. And yes, I will give you that. And sorry, I drank right into the microphone there. Mo, can we get Steve or Jesse instead? No, you can't, Mo. You get me. You get me, Mo. Get used to it. Let's have some fun, man. Chill out. You can have Steve tomorrow night. You have Jesse tomorrow night, too. He's doing his stream tomorrow night. Why don't you stop being such a baby, Mo? Let's get comfortable. Love that. CJ Cabby also gave a bunch of subscriptions. Thank you for that, guys. That's awesome. So Justin and CJ. Jacqueline K. reminiscing these names from the 97 Edmonton-Dallas playoff series. These are good names. I'm going to run through these. Doug Waite, Mike Modano, Kevin Hatcher, and Darian Hatcher. Marchment Sr., that is. Jason Arnott, who I think played for both teams over the course of those 5 years. Pat Verbeek, Joe Nieuwendyk, Curtis Joseph, Andy Moog, Sergei Zubov, Gilchrist, DeVries, Buckberger, Marchant, DeBrusque, Klima, Smythe, Carbonneau, and Richardson. I forgot Guy Carbonneau was a Dallas Star. Yeah, he was. Hey, and you know a name you forgot in there, who's one of my favorite players from the 90s? Jere Lehtinen. Stars fans know. That's Selke winger winner. When do you ever see a Selke winner be a winger? And then Jere Lehtinen was the guy. Jere Lehtinen was the guy. Dwayne McNeil, lots of Leafs fans saying they won't cheer for another Canadian team. I always pick a playoff team as a Leaf fan. It may as well be a Canadian Stanley Cup. Dwayne, I agree.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It's really hard to not cheer for your team. But at very least, I think what you can do is be happy for another fan base in Canada if it happens. Don't you think? I think so. I think, and here's what I'll ask, Edmonton fans. If the Leafs win the Cup, I want you to be happy for me. Don't be salty about it. You know Mark Spector's going to come out with some salty article about it, but don't be salty about it. I won't be salty when you win. I'll be happy for you. I will applaud. I will applaud because Toronto Maple Leaf fan Connor McDavid will finally have a cup. And I like that. That rivalry was almost as hot as the Wings-Avs one back then. Man, Dave, you're so right. Dallas-Edmonton was always a great matchup. Always a great matchup. There was hatred on those teams. And then, Wings-Avs was like a murder fest. People getting limbs chopped off. Those were such great rivalries. And you know what you didn't have to have those rivalries? You didn't have to have weird playoff seeding. They just freaking played each other because they were good teams. It's ridiculous. I don't like Ken Holland. He took the Wings from cup contenders to irrelevant. They still have not recovered from his tenure. If you expect cups, you are in the wrong business. Well, yeah, he's done some good things in Edmonton, though. And he's done some things that haven't worked out. I wouldn't call signing Jack Campbell a bad thing. I think it was a rich contract, but it is a challenge, more of a challenge, to have free agents go to Edmonton. So Jack Campbell made sense, and he was really good with the Leafs. I know for a fact that Jack Campbell was asking at one point as high as $7 million with the Leafs because, if you remember, he was playing unbelievably well. He was crazy good. And Dubas just was like, yeah, I can't. And that number came down slightly because the rest of that season, he wasn't very good. But they gave him the deal. It happens. But look at what Ken Holland has done. Let's look at some of the good stuff. We got a Nugent. Oh, what a save by Skinner. Here we go. We got a Connor McDavid rush. We'll save the Ken Holland praise for later. That's right. Praising Ken Holland. Oh, Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman in front of the net. He scores. No way. How did he get that in? That's got to be through the 5-hole. Zach Hyman doing what he does best. Using the butt. Zach's butt. Shaq Hyman with the booty move. And what he does is he shifts and pushes you away with his ass. And he's able to get the puck on his stick, split two Dallas defenders in the slowest way humanly possible after a big Stuart Skinner save and a McDavid rush. Like this should have been over. Lundell does a good job. Yeah. Wow. Holy smokes. So that is really, really interesting. When you break that down, you watch that. It's Chris Tanev that is able. Lundell and Tanev are able to break that up. That should be at the end of it. But Tanev's on the back skate. He's going the wrong way. Can't handle the puck. And there's Zach Hyman with that Zach Hyman ass. It is. The guy uses his butt. And I respect it. Hey, speaking of Ken Holland praise, Zach Hyman contract. What a fantastic contract. 50 goal scorer for $5 million. Are you joking me? 50 guy. They couldn't find wingers for McDavid other than Leon Draisaitl. As soon as Zach Hyman showed up, they could regularly put Leon Draisaitl on a separate line, and teams could not overmatch the Oilers. How about that? Great deal for them. I also think the Ekholm deal was an absolute steal for the Oilers. Does anyone remember what they gave up? No, because you got Matthias Ekholm. Who cares? One deal that I think that they forced that they shouldn't have was the Duncan Keith deal. That deal never made sense to me. All respect to Duncan Keith and what he accomplished throughout his career, but he was cooked and played cooked the entire year. Never understood that. You got Duncan Keith like 5 years too late, and you paid way too much for him. I guess I know it's Ethan Bear and whatever, but even so, I think Ethan Bear would have been a better option for them. Eric, the Dallas Stars are 2 weak, soft, slow, zero hitting. They're the worst team the Oilers have played so far. Eric, they've outplayed the Oilers. Listen, I'll give. Oh, good save by Skinner there. I'll give you that the Oilers have way more high-end offensive talent. I don't think there's a team the Oilers match up with the exception of like Colorado. Colorado might be it. Who has more of that top line? Like Toronto might be up there in terms of like insane elite next level talent, and I'm talking about Toronto with Nylander, Matthews, not in the playoffs, guys. I understand that. Although Nylander is really good in the playoffs, Matthews is too when he's not hurt. But like Dallas doesn't have your Connor McDavid or your Leon Draisaitl, but they have the rest of the lineup, and they've played really well. Like you watch the first period, they were the team that jumped out a little bit. They've played a little tentatively since then. Who is also watching this game on TV right now? Well, you should be watching this game on TV. 14:33, there's the clap. Oh, and look at that. The linesman doesn't drop the puck. I got faked out. Sorry. 14:33 left in the second. And here we go. And they called it back again. You know, we have to remind the linesman that no one is there to see them. You drop the puck. It's over. Stop blowing the play dead. Here we go. And we didn't even get to watch the face-off. Come on now. Listen, Majoyce 2.0, underrated booty power move by Hyman there. You watch. Hyman is powering up the booty for this series. This is going to be an all booty performance if he's going to score in this series. He already has. But I'm talking about like if he's going to score a lot. It's going to be Hyman and that ass. Dat ass. Telling you. What's the salary of an NHL linesman? I don't think linesmen and refs make all that much. Like relative to their skill level. Oh, it's a giveaway. Oh my goodness. And it's, how did that not go in? Okay, it's in. Tyler Seguin scores. That's a brutal giveaway by the Oilers defense, and I don't even know who it was. Holy smokes. Dallas had to bury that. If it was the Leafs, they would have never buried it. But Dallas is going to bury that one all day. Was that Kulak that gave that puck up? He looks like he's doing the walk of shame right now. What happened here? So it's Kulak. Oh, he just misfires on it. That sucks. And it's Ben Seguin, the classic duo. Let me say this. If they ever go back to Kulak with the puck, which I don't think they're going to do. If they one more time, see how Kulak is literally alone and the Dallas players skate directly at him. They don't spread out. They don't try to intercept the pass. They converge on him. And what happens? He makes a mistake. It's what Edmonton's been doing to everybody during their penalty kills all playoff. If you skate directly at a player and you have the wheels to do it, you have an opportunity to screw them up because it's a mental thing for human beings, right? Somebody's skating right at you. You're like, oh, I better drop the puck. Everybody, including at the professional level, will make that same error. So that is a big goal for Dallas. They are back in this game. They are up double in shots, and they got a little lightning bolt in the arena. There's a little bit more energy than there was. Bit of a slash there. I think there's a penalty calling, and it looks like it's going to be against the Oilers. So let's have a look at this. I missed this play. Finally, we got a game here. First period felt like a headache. It was boring. Now we got a game. Where is Bouchard? Oh, yeah, that's a slash. He looked right at the ref, too. Yeah, it's a slash. Yeah. Steele kind of turnstyled Bouchard there. That's what happens. Yanni Habisto. I love Dallas. They play with a little swagger. To answer your question about the officials, refs and linesmen, I believe because they're in a union, so that's like pre-negotiated, but the rumor is it's like 150. Might be a little more, might be a little less. And it's not an easy life. These guys are on the road as much as the players are. They're all over the place all the time. So they're away from their family a bunch. And listen, 150 grand is fabulous money to make. Fantastic. But relative to their skill, right? It isn't all that much. When you think about, and I say skill, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? There is no skill with the refs. it's very, very hard to do it at that level. And I will grant the refs that all day, every day. I don't think that they don't have the talent. I think that they're mandated to manage games rather than ref them. Different rant. When you're at the top of your game of something, like if you're a top flight executive, you're a top flight performer within an organization. Let's say you do sales and you do a bunch of sales. You're going to have huge commission, right? You're going to be a top flight person who makes a lot of money. These are top flight referees, and they make a good living. Now they get to work in the candy store, the NHL, which is amazing. And you can once you're done, you have a good pension, you got medical benefits, and you can do what Tim Peel or Dave Jackson have done, start podcasts, start work for ESPN, all that sort of thing. So there's always that. But it's relative to most people at the top of their thing. When you consider the NHL is a $6.8 now billion business, it's not crazy money. It's good money. Michael, I work minimum wage. Michael, you're not a ref in the NHL, right? Again, I'm not talking about referees to us normies. I'm talking about referees being at the top of their game. It's good money. Dumb Hick. Dumick? I hope it's not Dumb Hick. Don't they also have other careers? I'm sure they can. 1:30 left in the Dallas power play, by the way. I'm sure you can run other businesses or make investments or do whatever you need to do. The great thing is you can basically live anywhere. Just have to be able to be, within driving distance of an airport. This could be really, really big if Dallas has got a little, oh, no, Warren Fogle is going to have another breakaway. No. Man, look at that. McLeod with a shot. Good save by Otter. I was just going to say, Dallas actually got set up in the Edmonton zone, which they haven't been able to do much. If they get a goal here, that's huge. That's huge. Nightmare LLC. Edmonton getting screwed by the refs. On the Dylan Holloway goal or penalty, yes, that was a bad call. The Bouchard one, they had to call. It was an obvious slash. The Evander Kane one, obvious elbow/forearm. If it's obvious, they're going to call it, guys. And Dallas hasn't done anything obvious yet. They haven't even done anything mild. They haven't been physical at all. $11:50 left in the second. 37 seconds left in the power play. Stars out. Duchesne's got the puck. PP2 out there. I love that Dallas runs 2 power play units. They compete for time. Makes them more competitive. Let's go. Duchesne into the corner. Ben's got it. Oh, that was Marchman. Excuse me. There's Sagan. Stankoven there. Oh, Lindell can't keep the line. Bummer. Dallas will need to score 5 or 6 goals to a game to beat the Oilers. They're such a dry, boring team to watch. Eric, you really hate the Dallas Stars. I'm a Canucks fan since my old college. I'm a Canucks fan, but my old college roommate is Jim Nill's nephew, so I'm cheering for Dallas. Hey, that's cool, Dan. That's cool. Jim Nill's done a great job. There's a Detroit product that has come back to haunt Detroit. That guy should have been the guy that took over for Ken Holland. Should have been. Nothing against my good friend Stevie Yzerman, who I love and adore. But I think performance-wise, difficult to disagree with, at least right now. And let's not forget, Steve Yzerman did put together those unbelievable Tampa teams and left right before they won all those cups. D.D. Weiss, there's no excuse to cheer for Dallas. Who just gifted 5 subs? Winubus. Thank you for gifting 5 SDPN memberships. Guys, I'm really excited. If you haven't checked out SDP VIP and checked out our 4th episode each week, I would love for you to do that. It's only $3.99 a month. And if you want every episode ad-free, you can get that for $5.99. Pretty great. The reffing is awful. Stars getting everything is BS. Alex, dude, two of those things were obvious penalties. Dylan Holloway, though, I will give you that. Oh, that's going to be, well, no, they're not going to call that because they've already called 3 against Edmonton. Yeah, 9:23 left. Whoop. Nurse almost gave one away there to the wrong people because Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin are on the ice. Boy, gotta be honest, the Stars power play, both units, don't look like a match for the Oilers penalty kill today. It felt like, I mean, I know it was a little bit tilted. It felt a little 5-on-5 though, didn't it? It's kind of like the Leafs power play. You'd almost rather them not have it. Vander Kane dumps it in. There's Dylan Holloway. Fogle around the net. Ceci, woo! Okay, Cody Ceci holds the line. How about that? And we're going to get an offensive zone faceoff. Jacqueline K, PSA, SDP VIP is worth every penny. Well, thank you so much. The VIP episodes are classic SDP. Luke Davidson, when's the new VIP episode? Isn't it today? I thought it was today. Should be today. Should be out right now. I'll check our YouTube channel. Jesse releases those, so I didn't. Oh, I guess our VIP episode didn't come out. I don't know. I'm sure, you know what? Maybe it comes out tomorrow morning. That's probably what it is. It probably comes out like early tomorrow. Is Adam watching the TNT broadcast or the Sportsnet broadcast? I'm watching Sportsnet, and I'm watching it on the Rogers Ignite app. And the reason for that is that it gives me the most updated, whereas Sportsnet now is extraordinarily slow and brutal and not worth watching. So, Robert Malloy, they drop Friday usually at midnight. So you can do that. Check it out. Check out SDP VIP in the morning. It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy doing them. So, Adam, as someone who doesn't have a horse in this race, who are you hoping will win? And if you don't say Oilers, that's not very Canadian of you. No, I definitely do hope the Oilers win. I really do. I want the Oilers to win. I think it's going to be cool to see a Canadian team back in the finals again if they can get it done. And they're looking pretty good today. Dallas is they came out, I would say Dallas edged the Oilers out a little bit in the first period. And then the Oilers have been much better in the second period and obviously have a couple goals. So you don't have to listen to Kenny Albert. I've never listened to Kenny Albert. I'll be honest, I don't know who Kenny Albert is. Hope he's a good person. I don't get to watch a lot of American feeds, right? You get to watch a lot of the Canadian feeds, or if I'm watching an American game, like if I just have a game on in the background, sometimes I just mute it and watch and, have a look at our stuff. Mary, hey, Adam, were you a DJ for Virgin Radio here in Calgary? Yes, I was. I was the morning show host with Danae and Fuzzy in 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. So I still keep in touch with Danae from time to time. We were young children back then. Now we get kids. It's weird. I love how teams embrace the in-arena viewing parties. I agree with you, Aaron. It's so cool. We can't do them here in Toronto. A, because our teams are never in the playoffs very long. B, because the arenas are always busy. But I've always been so jealous because I think it would be so much fun to do. Just be there, hanging out, watching on the Jumbotron, being able to buy a beer. It's beautiful. Evan Bouchard. Here we go. Over. Oh, Ekholm just missed the net. Man. You know what I would love to do one day? I would love to get to the point with SDPN where we actually get to be in the arena for these sidecasts. So I could, I know that is a long way away and we've got a lot of building to do, but wouldn't that be sick? I could probably call this game so much better than what I'm doing right now because it's harder on a TV screen. It's why like baseball announcers and hockey announcers struggle when they're not on the road with the team. I would love to be able to be in the arena, talk about what's going on, not play the game. You have to watch the game on TV, but I'll do a little sidecast with you. That'd be sick. Oh, Heiskanen's got a nice little arm lock with McDavid there. 7:13 left in the second period. Thank you to producer Hayden for including a clock, which he will update every face-off so you guys can align. Hyman with a nice little shot there. Let's get that booty power. Adam, can we not have crotches in the background? Excuse me. That's my crotch. That's my mural crotch. And you're getting a crotch in the background, okay? And that's Jesse's. And we had to cover it. So what do you think? That's all I got to say. My crotch you didn't have to cover. It's disappointing. Imagine SDPN hires Joe Bowen for live streams. Yeah, no. Joe Bowen needs to be on the radio, and he should be back on television. Did the watch party at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, and it was a cool experience. Yeah, I bet it was. It would be fun. Adam Wylde, you need to ask CJ for help getting on the road. No, CJ can't even help us with that. That would be, we'd have to go directly to the teams and say, can we do this? And they'd be like, you are? No, I think some of them know who we are. Some of them. I don't know how big. You know, some teams are very aware of media. Some teams are not very aware of it. And it depends on the personality, too. Here we go. Desharnais with a little shot. Here we go. Oh, McLeod. Oh, this Fogle-McLeod line has been getting a lot done. Killing penalties. Looking good. I full respect. Full marks. This is a good second period for them. 5:58 left in the second. The Sharks know who Steve is. Yes, the Sharks do know who Steve is. All three of you should do a finals live stream. I think, while that sounds lovely, I think Steve on his own makes a lot of sense. He just does. I think I'd throw off his rhythm, and I think Jesse and I would just much rather be in the comments and that sort of thing for that. Steve's put a lot of work into these, and he's really good at them, and he should be doing them. That's what I think. Woo! Stuart Skinner got real close to getting a penalty there. Good little maneuver. Woo! Okay, here comes Jamie Benn with a shot. Ooh, bit of a handcuff on Skinner, but he gets a piece of it. Away goes Draisaitl. Over the line. Here we go. There's Evander Kane in the corner. Not much. We're back to the not much zone of this game, which is sort of what the first period looked like. There wasn't a whole lot happening in the first. And in the second, the first 10 minutes of the second were really exciting. And now we're back to, after that Bouchard penalty, not much has really happened. Oh, almost a steal for a breakaway. But Marchment just didn't have the wheels or the energy to go after it and make it a breakaway. Jeff E., this chat is very tame compared to most online communities. Yes. Yes. It is. People are respectful. Also, we throw out people who say anything super bad. Because you know what? This should be a fun place to be. Uh, 19, Adam, would you rather have Edmonton lose so the Leafs can bring a cup to Canada, or are you cheering for Edmonton? I am cheering for Edmonton. I will be happy when Canada breaks its cup streak. It's good for the country if somebody wins. It is. Economically, it's good for the country. Interest-wise, it's good for the country. Frankly, it's good for business if a Canadian team goes to the finals. It would be better for business if Toronto did, mostly because Toronto's just an enormous monolith fan base. And, you know, I'm a Leaf fan, so I'm biased. But Edmonton going would be my second best choice. And I think based on how they played tonight, just keep doing it. Power up to Zach Hyman booty. Make it happen. Sports are fun. It would be nice to see the three of you during intermissions as well, because your content and talking points are way better than the other guys. No F-bombs on national TV. Well, I appreciate that, Code 88. You know what? That could be interesting. We could do like an intermission. I've talked about that with the guys, about doing like picking a day each week and then picking a game, and not necessarily doing a sidecast stream like this, but just doing a pre-show, let you watch, and then intermissions, and then a post game. But I guess what we could do for I'm brainstorming with you here. Maybe this is what we do. Maybe we do a pregame show for the Stanley Cup Final, and then Steve does the sidecast. We call it sidecast, or they're called megacasts. In broadcast terms, what we're doing right now is called a megacast. I don't know why they call it that. I didn't name it that. To me, it's just a side stream because you watch it beside the main stream. But, oh, here we go. Hold on. Nurse with a shot. Okay, good little play. Again, that third line for the Oilers getting it done tonight. If we did a pregame and then Steve did a sidecast and we did a little intermission and then Steve does a sidecast second period and then we do a second intermission, and then would you do that? Would you watch that? I know Steve would need some breaks and do some clips and stuff, but that's sort of why we run SDP clips in the intermission. So it gives us all a bit of a break, and it's kind of like a panel show. Anyway, would you watch that? I'm fine. RK or MKI Sports. I'm finally off work. Woo! MKI Sports, I think, has been here for every single stream that I've done. And I don't know about Steve and Jesse's streams, but you have been here for every. It's cool. Post game intermission panels would be awesome. So would you guys tune in and watch that? Because I feel like here. If I'm being honest, I've always wanted to do those pregame and postgame and intermission shows, always. But because we founded our own network, there's a network that sees us as competition in this country, and the network that's like, no, keep doing your thing. But the reality is that a lot of these networks like to bring in their own people and bring them up through the system or whatever. The broadcasting game's changed a lot. There's a lot of not pleasant things happening in it, but I would really love to. I would love to do that. I'd love to have SDPN, and then I'd love to do, like, look at what Biz is doing. Paul Bissonnette is doing exactly. He's jumping on, except he doesn't get to bring his guys with him. And I would love to do Steve and Jesse and I, because I think we'd be good at that. That's what I think. And then, you can add people to that. It doesn't have to just be the three of us, but like you can bring in a player, or bring in whatever. But I think it would be fun. I want it to feel like a little bit more like what Charles Barkley and like Inside the NBA does, which is fun. It should be fun, right? Not that, like, we should break down a play, we should make some jokes, and we should get back to it. Jeff O'Neill does a really great intermission. Frank Corrado does a really good intermission. Like, they're there to have a good time. Like, it's supposed to be fun, That's just how I feel. Andrew Waters. Yes, but you should also bring in local favorite writers for each team as well. Andrew, that's a great idea. I totally agree with that. And I think we would. Come to the U.S. and take over ESPN intermission panels because they're straight trash. They can't be that bad. I never watch the ESPN feeds because I never see them come up. They don't do a great job promoting them. But the TNT one is freaking awesome with Gretzky and Biz and all the other. Berube was on there for a bit. Oh, Holloway might have got another penalty there. Oh, Dallas pressing. Oh, Dodonov almost had a bend. Sagan. Oh, that was awful close. 2 minutes to go in the second period. ESPN intermission panels are bad. I can't believe that. ESPN is so good at football, basketball, baseball, and then college football, college basketball. How can they be bad at hockey? That doesn't make sense. I can't. That does not compute. But I also don't get the feed in this country, so I watch Sportsnet and TSN mostly. Here we go. Oh, we got a penalty. Is that a 2-minute man? 2-minute man? It's an American company broadcasting hockey. It's not that complicated. Jeff, it is, though, because TNT does a great job. Like, look at the Shaq Hyman stuff that they've been able to pull off. I think American companies do great jobs with hockey. ESPN and the NHL, if you ever read the ESPN book, those guys have all the fun. You should read that book. It's fascinating. ESPN and the NHL built off of each other all the way through the 80s and 90s. And hockey was on a ridiculous hot streak in the early 90s. And a lot of that had to do with its partnership with ESPN, because ESPN and hockey had grown together. And it's kind of a shame that they ever got away from working together, because now ESPN has to rebuild their coverage, and the NHL hasn't grown in the States the way it should, although it's growing a lot now since they got back on ESPN and TNT. And freaking hockey's such a great sport, isn't it? It's just the best sport. Oilers power play. It's the first one of the series. Not sure. ESPN focuses on way too much on talking heads. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, do you mean like they talking heads? How? Like, I don't even know who's on their intermission panel, so it's hard for me. Oh, McDavid. Ooh, that was sneaky. Otter got it, but woo! That was vintage McDavid sneak through and a shot that you will not see. ESPN intermission is usually PK and Messier. I thought PK and Messier were good, though. Everything I've seen from them, I've liked. Plus, I think PK warms Messier up, because Mess can come across a little serious. I don't know if he is serious in real life, but he comes across as very serious. Andrew Waters, the best thing recently by ESPN is integrating hockey with Pat McAfee. Yeah, because if you try to put Stephen A. Smith on a hockey beat, like when you try to put him on First Take with hockey content, it's not going to work. The guy doesn't care, and that's okay. Like, don't make a fish climb a tree. You know what I mean? He's your number one personality. Pat McAfee's number two. Let Pat McAfee handle it. And I think he's done a great job. I think the name of the segment is kind of embarrassing, though. Hockey is awesome. It's like, it's just so pick me. You know what I mean? But they do a great job. They do a great interview. They always do a great interview. I loved some of the people they've had on. And they actually made Gary Bettman look human. That's what, see, Pat McAfee's show is I mean, when he was just doing it on his own YouTube channel, he was doing it live all the time. And it's made me think, should we at some point try doing an SDP live and see how that goes? But his business model is very similar to what we're doing. He's just a lot further along in it. And he was a professional football player. So, you know, there's that instant credibility, right? No, PK and Mess are very flat and boring. Really? Wow. Stephen A. Smith has got to stop comparing the Leafs to the Cowboys. Stephen A. Smith is right about the comparison of the Leafs and the Cowboys. He's absolutely bang on the money, except that the Cowboys probably win more in the playoffs. I'm serious. Pat McAfee, Pittsburgh kid. You bet he is. When you hear him say down, if Pat McAfee goes, oh, it's third down. It's third down. It's also that Pittsburgh friendliness. Like, Pat exudes that. When you go to Pittsburgh, people are just kind of, they're friendly and they're excited to meet you. How are you? Pat's like that. He's got that energy. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited about life. Life is good. I love Pat. I think he's great. I think he's done an amazing job. PK is boring. Is this a troll attempt? I don't know. I've always thought PK was good, but I have not seen a whole lot of ESPN panels, so I don't know. MKI Sports, put the hammer down. That's right. Jerry Jones has more money than MLSE. Yeah, I think he does. Pitt is a great city. You're damn right it is. I love Pittsburgh. Absolutely love him. Pat is also a WWE commentator. Man, there's a thing where I look at Pat McAfee. I'm like, man, that boy is living Steve Dangle's dream. Steve, I think, would die to be a WWE commentator. Don't you think? Would die for something like that. Trivia for you. Pittsburgh is the Steel City. What's Dallas called? Luke, would it be Oil City? Because isn't it an oil city? Wouldn't be Cow City, would it? I love the amount of Pittsburgh love we're getting in here, by the way. I love Pittsburgh. My mom's from Pittsburgh. I am half American. Hi, it's me, half American. Very proud to be as well. My mom's already prepping her vote in the election. I can at any time get my American citizenship. I just haven't yet because I don't want to file taxes in 2 different countries every year. That's really the reason. The Lone Star City? No, I don't think it's the Lone Star City. What is it? I think we were so disappointed by the panels up here that anyone knew it was a fresh breath of air, but the panels down south, but panels are so good down south they can be more picky. Yeah. Next time Eric Young throws a wrestling event, we got to have Steve do commentary for at least his match. Man, I think Steve would be great. Eric is one of those guys too that if you put a creative idea in front of him, he goes for it. I don't know how much control Eric would have, but every time he's in town, he always messages us, and he's so gracious and so kind. Eric Young is a human being that you should cheer for. Wherever he is, whatever he is doing, you should support that guy. That guy is the best. You're an important vote in PA, Adam. You know, it's again, Pennsylvania would be where I would vote, right? Because that was where my mom spent the majority of her time. But she got her American citizenship, and technically, because she went to university there, she came of age in Idaho. So my mom votes in Idaho. Isn't that funny? And they actually texted. I guess they do this every once in a while where they'll text out and be like, would you like to run for mayor in this blah, blah, blah town? And my mom texted them back and she's like, well, I live in Canada, so I really can't. But thank you for asking. They're like, no problem. Like, isn't that wild? Code 88. When Sid 60 is done with BT, he needs to be on a panel for all future intermissions. I agree. Sid 60 it's criminal that Sportsnet never used him on a panel. Now, I'll be honest. I'm biased. Sid's a friend, but I don't think there's a better, bigger, more polarizing personality. And polarizing is good. When I watch somebody on TV, I want to have somebody who's like a really good expert, and I want to have somebody who's here's the format. Ready? You want somebody who's a really good host, keeps the conversation moving. You want somebody who's a really big personality, maybe 2, who are big and boisterous and can get into it, maybe with the host a little bit. And then you want a 4th or a 5th who can bring the temperature down a little bit. And then you need an expert. You know, and I've seen football panels. People are like, 5 people on a panel. I could never. I've seen football panels that are like, you watch an NFL game, there's like 17 people on the panel. You can do it. I don't know. I just think you need to have Sid 60, for my money, is one of the best personalities we've ever put out in sports in this country. And it's a shame he's not doing sports, but he is doing sports. He talks a lot about sports on BT, and I think he's having a blast on BT, and I think that's kind of the key. But man, you're preaching the choir. I'm a huge 660 guy. He's amazing. House of Cards, Marilyn Dennis edition. Let's do it. You know what? I should run that by her. That would be very funny. Adam, what's your opinion on Sheldon Keefe getting the New Jersey job? You've probably answered this question, but it's 3 a.m. in the UK and I am drunk. Well, first off, Mimosa, with a name like that, I would expect you to be, and good for you. Secondly, I know nobody has asked. Everybody still wants Marner trade proposals. I think it's going to be hilarious when Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils rock the Leafs show for the next 3 or 4 years, because he's inheriting a fantastic hockey club that was a trade away from getting Jake Markstrom as their goalie, and I'm sure that deal probably gets done this summer or something similar. Like, I know Don Sweeney said that Linus Ullmark, he wants to keep Linus Ullmark for the last year of his deal. I don't believe him. I think that there was a reason that Boston tried to trade him at the trade deadline, and that is because they want to go a different direction and reallocate Linus Ullmark's money to something else, probably a second line center, so they can move Zacha down a little bit. So my thinking is, and they also need a center who's going to take some of the load off of Brad. No, not Brad Marchand. He doesn't play center. They need more center depth, which is weird to say in Boston because you're so used to Krejci, Bergeron, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, long story short, New Jersey, I think Ullmark or Markstrom, UC Saros is apparently on the market because they've got that kid and they got Kevin Lankinen who they can re-sign. I think New Jersey's going to make Tom Fitzgerald's going to make a big deal for a goalie this summer, and Sheldon Keefe is going to instantly have a better goaltender than he ever had here in Toronto. Because Sheldon it's low key, but Sheldon kind of got shafted a little bit. He got injured end of his tenure in Toronto, Freddie Anderson. He got Jack Campbell, who was extremely hot, like boiler hot, and then cold, and not great playoff numbers from either of those two guys. Then he got Sammy, who was great and won him a series, but then got injured, and Joe Wall, who was really good and probably the Leafs' best player against the Panthers last year. And then both goalies, one has injuries, the other obviously had off-ice issues this year that were, I don't actually know what happened with Sammy. It was great to see him come back and play well, but Sheldon never had a true starter here in Toronto. So he gets one of those in New Jersey. He gets Dougie Hamilton, who is, no offense to Morgan Riley, but Dougie Hamilton is instantly the best defenseman that Sheldon Keefe has ever had in his coaching tenure. Jack Hughes is Jack Hughes. You got my boy Andre Palat, who I freaking love, especially come playoff time. New Jersey's going to be a threat. They're going to be a threat. Like, don't be surprised if New Jersey wins the division next year. If they get that goaltending done, like, they're going to go toe-to-toe with the New York Rangers. They are. And it's going to make for great playoff hockey, too. That's what I think. Anyway. Washington needs a goaltender. Washington does need a goaltender. Washington needs a lot. Greetings from Querétaro, Mexico. I love Mexico. Have I told you I love Mexico? It's such a beautiful country. Caps have 3 to 4 good goalies in the AHL and Charlie Lindgren. They could trade Kemper and bring up Hunter Shepard if they wanted to. That's from Rob Malloy. That's astute, Robert Malloy. I don't know how you trade Kemper, though. That's the problem. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Mexico City needs a team. Man, I'd love that. Kevin Bart, Keefe is just a regular season merchant. No, I don't think he is. There are things that I wish Keefe did, but I want to say that I don't think he is a regular season merchant. I think you guys have you seen that clip rolling around on the internet of Joe Thornton and Keefe and Marner and Matthews? They're all sitting in a room, and Keefe is talking about the kinds of goals that you need to score in the playoffs. And do you remember what Jumbo Joe says? Lay off us. We're in first place. And what happened? They couldn't score goals like that in the playoffs, especially when Tavares went down. And Montreal kicked their ass for game 5, 6, and 7. Like, dude, Keefe did his absolute best with this team. And maybe he still has some stuff to learn. But I'm telling you that it's about time we start blaming the players for this. And I think fans are. The team refused to do it for years and years and years because they were told, as Jesse said on the show, the result doesn't matter. Just keep doing what you're doing and we'll eventually get the result. No, the result matters. If you didn't win, something went wrong. You're either too young, or you need to add, or you need to subtract, or you need to do something. The Leafs instead said, no, how about if we did nothing? And what happened? Same thing over and over again. Are you going to watch any of the Memorial Cup to check out Easton Cowan? Good question. Yeah, I think I want to. Well, I don't think I want to. Of course I want to. The problem is with children that they dictate your weekend schedules very much, and your weekday schedule in the middle of the playoffs, if you're me, is either me doing these streams or Steve doing the streams. Like we're doing alternating nights, and Jesse's doing streams tomorrow night too. And so tomorrow, actually, hey, I should plug this. Jesse is on NHL Network right now, or was for the second period. And I will be on the NHL Network tomorrow during the second period of the Panthers New York game. And Steve obviously will be doing his mega cast. So all that said, we're going to be everywhere all the time. So it makes it harder to watch the Memorial Cup when it's happening. I tend to put that stuff on when it's the middle of the day and there's no sports really happening. And, so I never get to watch it when it happens. So that's your Memorial Cup. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Memorial Cup watch along. I don't think so. There's only so much time in a day. And we do actually have to run a business here. That's what we are, running a business. We have to do all the unfun stuff too, The fun stuff is hanging out with you right now. But the unfun stuff is like paperwork, which sucks. Ugh. I want this business to be super successful so I can hire people that are really good at paperwork. So this is all I have to do because this is all I want to do. It's the best. Reds are, Adam, I have 3 sons that all play sports. I have no schedule of my own. No, I bet you don't. See, my daughter's only 5, so she does a couple of things. She does little dance. She's doing swim lessons. That's it so far. And we think that's a lot. But I can remember when I was playing hockey in single A, I was 5 nights a week at the arena. I don't know how my parents did it. I don't know what they ever did for fun. I don't know what they did. Hello from San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Thank you, Italo. Welcome. Love that Mexico's tuning in tonight. Hayden Matheson, talk about the Minnesota Wild. What do you want? What do you want to talk about? What should we talk about? Should we talk about cap trouble? No, actually, you know what? The fact that the Minnesota Wild, who are at the height of their crappy cap situation, was it $15 million that they've got tied up in those buyouts? I think it's really impressive what they've been able to pull off, to be honest. I'd loathe to compliment another team. But the fact that they were even sniffing at the playoffs this year, the fact that they were squarely in last year, it's impressive. They just haven't been able to hold that together. Greetings from Thunder Bay, Ontario. It sucks here. I heard it's actually I heard Thunder Bay in the summer is amazing. Vendetta. Adam, I'm home and blazed. Oilers time. Let's go. Vendetta, I'm happy for you. Can we get a Let's Go Leafs? We cannot get a Let's Go Leafs. We cannot. No way. Let's go Leafs. No, can't do it. I hate it. Matthew Cook. I've always felt if Adam and I hung out and did some mushrooms, we'd be the best of friends forever. I love Adam. He's so real and relatable. Man, I've never done mushrooms. But I do know that, or I'm pretty sure that they're going to be legalized here within the next decade. They're already sort of prepping for it, and it's interesting. From Thomas M, VIP member for 3 months. Thomas, one of the OG VIP members. Have a nice day. Keep up the great work at SDPN. Thank you, Thomas. I saw a moose in Peterborough today. That's good. Nemkis, let's go Stars. Oh, Sam. Adam, were you a little torched when Steve called you last night? No, man. I was just tired. Adam, do the wave. Oh, you mean in the chat? Should we do the wave in the chat? Who wants to do the wave? Oh, we got a wave. We got Steve Heitner. We got a wave in the chat. Are we going to get some more? Are we doing the wave? Whoa. It's just me and Steve. You can buy mushrooms straight up online. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, that's how not doing mushrooms I am. I have never done mushrooms. What's the HR department like at SDPN? It's small and very quiet. Most of us work from home, so there's not a lot of interaction. There's a ton of interaction, but everybody's very professional, and I like that. We got the wave going. The wave is going. It's going in the chat. Yo, we got to take over Steve's stream tomorrow and do this. Look at the wave. Look at this. Hello from Port St. Lucie, Florida, doing the wave. Look at it's crazy out here. We're doing the wave. This is so ridiculous. Damn, look at these waves. I eat mushrooms all the time, Adam. Great with gravy and Salisbury steak. Thank you, Gary. I think we were talking about the magic kind, but those are magic when they're on steak with gravy. All right, we got third period, game 1, face off, 40 seconds left in the Edmonton power play. Figures that Edmonton's first power play would be split between 2 periods because the refs hate Edmonton. They hate you. If you're an Oilers fan, ref doesn't like you. Don't know why. Thoughts on the final Bad Batch season? Aaron Barkhouse. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good. That series, for me, built really well through the first 2, and I think it lost its edge just a little bit, but I thought the villain was really good this year. The whole cloning thing is really fantastic, really good lore. They really built it out well. I think sometimes the characters in Star Wars can lack a little depth, and the altruism gets a little bit tiring. You know, I want everybody to have a bit of a dark side, and I'm waiting for Omega to do anything wrong ever, and she never does. And it's like, hey, well, she could make a mistake, or she could get a little evil, or she could do something wrong or bad or whatever. Just never get that. Andrew, did you think Omega was going to die? I did. I think she was going to die. I didn't think she was going to die. I did not. I thought Hunter was going to die. I'm glad he didn't. Hunter. And that weird horn dog thing, Batcha. It's a really thick New Zealand accent. I can't believe people still consume Star Wars content. Some of us are still children. Okay? All right? What do you think about getting to start the period in the offensive zone when you're still in a power play? Rita, I love that idea. I think they should do that. That would be a lot of fun. You get a lot of like hockey purists going, I don't think so. I don't think that's right. But I absolutely think that should be the way it is. Especially if the previous period ends and you're in and you have possession and you're in the offensive zone. Absolutely. Zach Teller, Craig Berube face? He was staring down the media. He's just really intense man. I'm excited for him as the coach. I've come around. JM, you guys are man children. Blastcraft 8, man adults. You're right. You're damn right. I'm a man child, man adult. I think it's fun in life to never let go of that imagination you have when you're a little kid and you're playing with toys in your basement or whatever. You know, when you're playing with, like, I used to have like an X-Wing fighter and a Naboo fighter, and I had Boba Fett's little vehicle. I had an AT-AT and an AT-ST. It was cool. Had the whole thing. And I gave it all away to charity, which, you know what? I could have sold it for a lot of money, but I figured kids should use this. So I gave it away this summer, actually. It was very hard to do, but I did it. And I never want to ever lose that imagination, because I think that's the whole thing, that's the reason we watch hockey, because we feel like competitive like we were when we were kids. You remember that nervousness you felt on the way to the arena? Like I do. I remember that all the time. And you know, the feeling about that smell when you walked into the dressing room and sat down and, you know, put on your skates, and you had a little routine about what pads went on when. Did you do the left side of your body first? Did you right side of your body first? Yeah, taping your stick, the whole thing. I miss that routine. I don't get to do that a lot as an adult. So little things like Star Wars or doing this with hockey, these are the things that make me happy. They make those 750 Lego Death Star Death Stars for people just like us. Yeah, there's the Super Star Destroyer. I don't think my wife would ever find me sexually attractive again if I made one in the house. But our house isn't very big, so there wouldn't be a lot of room. No, I think she would find me sexually attractive. She would still hit it. But I feel like it'd be like, okay, this is a lot. We need to hide this somewhere. But I think one day I am going to get the Star Wars Super Star Destroyer and build it. I'm going to do it. She loves Star Wars too, my wife. Absolutely loves it. Some may hate Star Wars, some may like Star Wars, but let's all agree that Spaceballs is amazing, and may the Schwartz be with you. Agreed. Spaceballs is incredible. Only one man jams the radar with strawberry jam. Or is it blueberry jam? Adam, you have an office to build that in. True. You know what? The other one I want to do is you guys know I'm a big Formula One guy. Oilers. Here we go. Edmonton now officially outshooting Dallas, by the way, which I think is big considering how much Dallas was outshooting Edmonton in the first and early second period. Bit of a giveaway. I want to build the new, there's Formula One Lego sets that I've always wanted to build. Specifically the McLaren one, because I'm biased. It's raspberry jam. That's what it is. Adam, are you Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter? Shoot, that's really hard. I love them both so much. I'll go Harry Potter because the books are better. That's right, I said it. The books are much better written books than the Lord of the Rings ones. Everybody gets mad at me when I say J.R.R. Tolkien was a creative genius, but a not great writer. I don't need 100 pages on the Shire, man. I don't need to know what year that the weed that they smoked was in the pipe and the thing. Just get to the freaking meat and potatoes, man. However, the story is fabulous. Just needed an editor. Thomas M. Adam, what's your dream McLaren? Oh, man. So my goal is to one day own a McLaren. Don't ask me how I'm ever going to do it. That's my dream. So if I'm going dream McLaren, the dream McLaren would be a Senna, the $2 million one. I dream big. Oh. Hang on. Let me fix that. We got me? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love that. But in all practicality, for practicality reasons, I'd love the new 750s are really cool. They're only $500,000. Obviously, the 720s are cool. I've heard the 650s are really weird to drive because of the way they brake, but they're fun cars. I mean, I'm not going to be picky at this point because I can't afford any of them at this point. But one day you're going to see me cruise into the SDP HQ here on Broadview in Toronto in a McLaren. And you can be like, Adam, how did you get that? And I'd be like, I borrowed it for the weekend. The bonk father. Ask Saudi Steve for a loan, He makes a good point. I would be okay with a Hellcat Challenger for $100K. You know what, man? I agree with you. They're very cool. I like the new Mustangs too. I think even the 350s, the GT 500s. My favorite all-time classic car is a 1968. Look this up. 1968 Shelby Mustang GT 500 KR, short for King of the Road, because it certainly was. How much is that car? About as much as a McLaren. And harder to drive. Adam, thank you. Lord of the Ring is great, but frankly, the books are boring. It is. The books are boring. And it's okay. It's okay to admit that. It's okay that it's still a great story. 13:20 left in the period. Nissan GTR would be my pick. Yeah, I don't blame you there. When I went to Abu Dhabi, there were Nissan GTRs everywhere, and they had just released them. And this was before we ever saw, you know how people wrap their cars now all the time? This was the first time I ever saw a matte wrapped car. So it wasn't glossy. And I just about fell over. I was like, this is crazy. And it was a red Nissan GTR. And they were driving it on the Corniche just outside of where, because they all hang out, the Emiratis all hang out at Baskin Robbins at the gas station, believe it or not, on a Friday night, because there's not a lot of drinking going on there. Alcohol is only available in very select locations and like in the hotels and stuff. So these guys, what do? They got lots of money. Friday night, they bring their sweet freaking cars, and they're all hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they pull up to the gas station and they eat at the Baskin Robbins and they show off, and it's awesome. I remember like I was hanging with my friend and his both of my friends. They're now married, but they were boyfriend and girlfriend back then. And there was a hookah lounge across the street. And so we just hung at a hookah lounge and watched these cars, and it was so cool. So cool. It was about 15 years ago. Oh, almost a goal there by Bouchard. Zach Hyman powering up the butt. The glute power. Oilers haven't had a lot of sustained pressure in this period. And that's really, this is the best I've seen the McDavid line look. They look like they got a new lease on life. I don't know what happened in the second round, but here we go. Connor McDavid in. Ottinger, oh boy. Almost had a rebound goal there. Oh, baby. Wow. Oh, man, a couple of good plays back and forth there between Edmonton and Dallas. Andrew Waters, someone should be on OBS Studio grabbing some great out-of-context clips of Adam on social right now. Well, listen, we're here to have a conversation. Frankly, this is like what watching a game with your buddies should be, right? Just like hanging, chatting, enjoying the hot moments. You know? Anyone ever dream of owning a PT Cruiser? Man, one of my girlfriend's moms had one, and this is years and years and years ago. And it was the worst. Actually, the worst. Such an unreliable car. So she finally gets rid of it. And what does she get? A newer PT Cruiser. Oh, but she loved it. She absolutely loved it. But boy, those things used to break down a lot. They were not great cars. Liv Rue, what is Jesse doing right now? Jesse was he not on the NHL Network just now? I thought he was. Didn't know Jesse did interviews with the NHL stream. Yeah. So I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm on the NHL Network tomorrow. Jesse was on tonight. We did a little NHL Network last playoffs too. It's very cool. Mackie Colvin, we fit 8 people in a PT Cruiser for a 40-minute ride one day. It was nuts. Yeah, with that hatchback, you could do that, right? Not safe, not recommended. Please don't do that. But we've all fit too many people in a car before. PT Cruisers are still not great cars. Yeah, there's a reason why you see 20-year-old Honda Civics on the road, but you don't see 20-year-old Pontiacs. And Pontiac hasn't been a brand for 15 years anyway, but very, very not good. Is Jesse on with Pierre Maguire? What? Get out. Hey, that's so sick. That's sick. Good for Jesse. I can't. Okay, first thing I'm going to ask him on the show tomorrow is what Pierre Maguire's like. Justin Fisher just texted me. Oh, he texted me about 10 minutes ago. Lots of room to build some Lego Star Wars at the office. Yo, it's true, Justin. And you know what we need? We need some Star Wars decor in here. We are truly lacking in Star Wars decor. Why are you not watching the game? I am watching the game. We had a couple of good opportunities there, but most of the third period's been kind of quiet. Have you seen Kanye West's Yeezy Cybertruck? Did he get a customized one? I haven't seen it. Jesse is the big time now. You bet. Good for Jesse. I'm glad he's on with Pierre. I want to know exactly how that goes. That's going to be my opening question. Who cares about hockey? Tell me about Pierre Maguire, Jesse Blake. Hey, now my Pontiac Grand Prix is 21 years old and still reliable. Okay, Ray. That's fair. That's fair. Pontiac G6 was the first decent car I drove after the beaters I drove in high school. Yeah, they had a couple of good models, but for whatever reason, that whatever engine they put in that PT Cruiser is just terrible. And the thing was, Pontiac was like a GM product, and at the time, GM's parts were outrageously expensive. And this is at the time, this is pre 2008 crash, and the brakes would always go. You'd have to get the brakes done like every year. Mark Hudak, as an owner of smaller cars and a dad of 2 young kids, I dream of owning a minivan. Also, more Star Wars decor. Agreed. Yeah, you know what? When you have a couple of kids or you have pets or whatever, big cars do rule. They do. Matthew Cook, I love that you guys are just guys, but you get to hobnob with NHL royalty. Well, that's nice of you to say. But I will say that the only reason we get to do stuff like that, like Jesse doing NHL Network tonight, me doing NHL Network tomorrow, Steve doing all the things that he has done, the only reason we get to do that is because of you. I can guarantee you they'd have no interest in us if we were just 3 guys with a show that nobody listened to. It's because you guys come in and listen and show up and engage and tweet us and DM us and all the other things that you do that we can do that stuff. So it is squarely down to you on that. And that's just the facts. Like I'm not a hockey player. I'm not a hockey coach. I'm not involved in the NHL at all, except for the fact that we have this network, and that is all because of you. So we can thank you for that. Luke Davidson, Pierre's high energy versus Jesse's chillness must be hilarious. It's like Steve and Jesse. It's why they work so well, right? Opposites attract, baby. It's so great that we had that. Did I miss the fig mustard sandwich? Well, you guys didn't get me enough likes. We gotta get at least 1,000 likes here if you want me to have mustard on a fig. Adam, I'm dying to know your answer. Do you prefer John Lennon or Paul McCartney? I prefer them together, first off. Because I think they both lost a step when they stopped working together. And I'll tell you why. You need somebody to push you to be your best. And when you're on your own and you're super talented, you can do good things. But when you're with somebody and you're extremely talented and you're competitive and you're fighting for album time, that's why some of those Beatles records are so great. Because George is squeaking a couple in, but it's like, Here Comes the Sun, right? Like crazy, one of the best Beatles songs of all time. And then Paul and John are fighting it out for what should be the lead single and all that stuff. You need people around you who push you, even if they drive you effing crazy. Steve and Jesse are perfect examples of that with me. We all sort of push each other, right? And it's all behind the scenes. You guys don't see it. And we don't hate each other, by the way. We love each other. We're genuine friends. Don't worry. It's not like Paul and John. But there is a expectation from your teammates when you're on a team. You better show up and perform. You better bring it. Every show. You could be going through a divorce. You could be sick. You could have just had a kid. Doesn't matter. It's showtime. And that's how we all look at it. And so to answer your John and Paul thing, I will be honest. I like Paul McCartney's solo work better than I like John Lennon's solo work. There, I said it. I think if it wasn't for Imagine, and Double Fantasy is a great album, but I like Wings stuff a lot better than I like John Lennon, and I think that probably has to do with the fact that I like pop sensibility a little bit more. So there, I answered it. Adam, I did smash that like button, brought it to 382 likes. Appreciate that. I think we're at, how many likes are we at? 487 now. We are all Yoko. Ali Hamza, can someone please explain why the Beatles are considered royalty? I think the Beatles are you can't conceive of life before the Beatles because the Beatles essentially created modern pop music. So even if you don't like the Beatles music, you don't have to. There was Elvis and that sort of thing, and there was Chuck Berry and some other hits, but back before the Beatles, there were these acts that would come in and they'd have a hit, and then they would go away, and there'd be another new act, and they'd come in and have a hit or whatever. The Beatles hit North American culture and British culture and worldwide culture like a lightning bolt. And so the effect that they had on pop music is what they should be really remembered for if you don't like their music. You can not like their music subjective, your taste is subjective, whatever. You got to also remember the reason you don't like these songs is they're 60 years old. Like the Beatles were releasing music from like 1961. I understand why you don't like it. I happen to love the Beatles, but it doesn't mean that everybody should. It's outdated music. It's objectively outdated. The technology is different. The desires of an audience are different. All that stuff. But what the Beatles had, their effect on pop culture and the music industry and the way tours were done, and like things right down to like PA systems changed after the Beatles went on. Like it's a whole thing. I could go on forever. That's why you consider them royalty. It's not just about the music. The Beatles just copied the Monkees. No, they did not. The Monkees copied the Beatles. Here we go. 7:27 left. I'm wondering if Dallas even wants to tie this game up. We're just sitting here yakking. They're not doing much. And I credit to the Oilers defense because it's been underratedly good in these playoffs, but also all regular season since they got it on track. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got a breakaway. Oh, not quite. That was a really good breakup. That was really, really good. Yep. I like that. Lindell did a good job on McDavid there. I'll give him that. Although I really wanted a breakaway so we could have something really exciting to talk about. I'll have to be honest, and I'll say this tomorrow. This is not the heavyweight Titan game I expected. I expected these two teams to be all over each other. It's not been like that. They both kind of let the game come to them. Fart, boo. Has McJesus falling off? No, I don't think so. I thought this was a hockey stream, LMAO. Yo, maybe you're new to this. The Adam Wylde streams, we go off track, baby. We talk hockey, but we talk about other things too, because this is supposed to be a hangout. It's supposed to be us just chilling. Shades of Nashville versus Vancouver. Not quite shades of that. That was objectively terrible to watch. It made it so easy to cheer for Vancouver. Also, the fans in the chat were really nice. Vancouver fans like really were cool. And Edmonton fans have been really cool too. Didn't Adam say he would comment on all super chats? Did I miss a super chat? Where did I miss? Oh, Matthew. NHL refs and linesmen with cams like the AAHF World Cup. Should they have that? Sure they should. But again, you got to ask yourself, Matthew, why does the NHL want that? If the NHL's goal is to be not accountable, unaccountable, why would they take measures to be accountable? If you want to know why the NHL doesn't do anything about refereeing, it's because they're happy with it. They like this. You don't. I don't. But they like this. And who takes the abuse for it? The officials do. When really, it's the NHL that asks for it this way. And we should be mad at them. I'm seeing Billy Joel in July at his last show at the Garden. That's bucket list. Timothy, doesn't he do a show there every month? And I guess that wraps up this July. Good for him. I love the music chat going on here. This is great. Okay, they're doing Living on a Prayer now in Dallas. It worked for Edmonton. In the middle of singing Living on a Prayer, Edmonton scored on Vancouver in Game 6. Don Waddell leaving Carolina would be a mistake, in my opinion. He's built a good team. So the last time that Don Waddell's contract was up, Tom Dundon said, yeah, go ahead and interview for that Minnesota job. Almost got it. Hey, producer Hayden wants me to talk more Minnesota. It was almost Don Waddell. And then they ended up doing a contract. Tom Dundon is the kind of guy, he's the owner, by the way, the Carolina Hurricanes, who is like, I really don't care that you're out of contract. This is my number. If you don't want it, leave. And I think it might be Tulski time anyway. But yeah, Don Waddell deserves a ton of credit for building that team. And this is exactly what happened last time. So I'm not like, if he goes and he interviews for another job, I'm not even going to bat an eye. This is how the Carolina Hurricanes do business. They negotiate and they make it as painful and ugly as possible for you. That's Tom. Speaking of Minnesota, what are your thoughts on Prince? One of the best live shows I've ever seen. I saw Prince, and he was spectacular. His band was amazing. And he did an acoustic version of Little Red Corvette. It was great. It was great. .4:15 left to go in the third period. I'm just asking, does Dallas want to tie this game up, or are they just going to let Edmonton do this? Are they just going to let them win 2-1? Because I'd like to see Dallas try. I mean, you got to think they're going to start to pull the goalie here soon. Although the way they've looked on the power play, that's a tough call. I don't think this is the way it's going to be the entire series, but I've not been blown away with Dallas's game the way everybody was talking about going in the series, that the Stars were going to steamroll the Oilers, and I just never saw that. And I think this is going 7. But if Edmonton continues to play like they have in spurts tonight, they're going to be just fine. If you're an Oiler fan, you got to be thrilled with it. If you're a Stars fan, you don't have to be like upset, except you're losing right now. But oh, they just tie it up. Wow. See? Dallas wanted it. Looks like we might get some overtime here, kids. You might be sticking around a little bit longer. Wow. Big goal. Seguin with a big goal. His second of the night. I love the Dallas chant when they score. That must be so exciting. Robertson over to Dadonov. Or downloaded Dadonov. By the way, yeah, Dadonov. Okay, so does it go off of Dadonov, or does it? I don't know. Okay, I think it goes off Desharnais or Nurse, but I can't tell. I thought Dadonov had passed it over. Oh, he did. Okay, so he did redirect it. Man, gotta say, Dadonov, who kind of made the rounds in like Ottawa and like was almost traded Anaheim, and then here we go, Edmonton. Oh no, Dylan Holloway can't get the shot off, but he had Ottinger beat. Oh man. Whoa, that's so crazy. Listen, I was challenging Dallas to tie the game. They tied the game. Edmonton almost did to Dallas what they did to Vancouver, which is, yeah, okay, you scored. We're going to come back and do it to you. Damn. And Vander Kane from the point. Andre with the save. Boy, it's loud in there now. It's loud in there now. 2:47 left. We got a super chat here from Ojo. Ring, ring, Mr. Adam Treliving. This is Barry Trotz from Nashville, and I've got an offer for you. Marner for Saros and Joachim Kamel and Luke Shen. First off, Luke Shen, I don't think they're going to part with him. But if they did, I'd be thrilled. Saros and Shen would be legitimately great ads for the Leafs. Here's the problem. As a Leafs fan, you got to be careful about committing too much money to a goaltender. He's making $5 next year. What's his contract after that? He's one of the best goalies in the league. If Connor Hellebuyck, what's Connor Hellebuyck at 7.5? Carey Price was at 10. Just another, like, I don't care how good Carey Price was. Mark Bergevin was not a great general manager. Bobrovsky's at 10. UC Saros is for sure going for more than Connor Hellebuyck did. Hellebuyck would have got more in the open market. What is he, 8-9 million? I love UC Saros. I do. It'd be great to have a starter. But like, what's that deal look like? Is that like an 8-year deal? What if Joe Wool's the guy? And then you're stuck with like a Darcy Kemper situation. I don't know. You have to, the Leafs have a lot of thinking to do this summer. Thoughts on the Calder race? Obviously, Bedard is in there, but serious conversation is Brock Faber. I'm biased, though, Minnesota fan. Well, I think our producer, Hayden, would love you, Stephen Madison. And yeah, I think Brock Faber deserves serious votes. And, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he won. And the reason I say that is NHL people, and I think this is sports people in general, tend to want to be the smartest person in the room. When you're voting on something like this, you're like, yeah, Bedard's the obvious answer, but what about, or whatever, you know? And I'm not saying Bedard is the obvious answer. I think Brock Faber probably had a better year. And what makes it so, I guess, impressive is that, and I say that because Bedard got injured, broke the jaw, you know. I would love to know what he did with a full year. Like McDavid lost the Calder Trophy to Panarin, wasn't it? Because he broke his collarbone 40 games in the year. And he was playing with like Benoit Pouliot and Yakupov. It was not a good team. And he was spectacular on it. So, whoop, Dallas now looking a little dangerous. Are we getting a spicy finish? Because, you know, usually what teams do is they go, no, let's not do anything until overtime. Let's not do anything until overtime. I think we're going to have a spicy finish here, kids. Wilgeman saw Rogers Waters live and it left me in awe. Yeah, he would be a spectacular live one. His live albums are amazing, especially the more recent ones, like The Wall reenact, or like when he does the whole album. Oh, crazy. Calder Trophy means nothing. It does at the NHL level. Tristan Jarry is going to look so good in Canada next year, Edmonton or Toronto. Toronto's not trading for Tristan Jarry. No. He has good games, though. I have to say, I underestimated Tristan Jarry. I have to be honest, I was not familiar with your game. He was good this year. But then he lets in some just fart goals, and you're like, what is that? Toronto doesn't need if you're going to make a trade for your goalie, UC Saros or Jake Markstrom, who has his moments, it better not be a goalie that's like, yeah, he has kind of dumb goals sometimes. The Leafs can't handle that. The Leafs don't play good in front of goalies like that. Some teams can handle that. Like the Colorado Avalanche with Darcy Kemper when they won the Cup. Darcy Kemper was good. The Avs were amazing. And when he let in a bad goal, that never fazed them. Toronto Maple Leafs, when your goalie's not playing well, they play a completely different game. And it's not good. You might need to do a big goalie UC Saros trade if it's out there. What's that contract look like, though? The guy from Canada, Adam, what's the first concert you ever went to? My mom took me at Skydome, and it was called Skydome at the time, to Garth Brooks, whose music was my first love when I was a kid. I still love Garth Brooks, and I'm not the biggest country music guy, but I freaking love Garth. His songs were really just fantastic. And he was an unbelievable live performer. So I have seen Garth Brooks. And I was so young, I was like 7 or 8 years old, that I fell asleep at the concert. But I remember him like coming down from the top and like he was amazing. More of a Chris Gaines guy myself. Yeah, sure, Justin. That's a good one. That's deep. Justin Fisher's first show was Smash Mouth opening for Lenny Kravitz. No way. Lenny Kravitz is amazing live. I saw him open for Aerosmith. He was fantastic. And Aerosmith were great too. Oh, I love that Dallas is pushing for a goal here. They're not going to get one. Shoot. Yeah. But wow. Hey, big shout out to Edmonton and Dallas for making that last 2 minutes fun. Big shout out. My first concert was Journey. Security saw me and brought me to the front row when I was 7 in a crowd of people. Oh, that's so cool. Reminder that Chris Gaines, who is Garth Brooks' alter ego, yes, that's a real thing, is supposed to be Australian, and that's hilarious. My first concert was Blink, Green Day, and Newfound Glory. That's a good first concert. Luke Davidson, who had the most influence on radio? Did Howard Stern destroy radio? No, man. Howard Stern did not destroy radio. Howard Stern saved it from being boring and shitty. He did a lot of stuff that would not be acceptable today, let's be honest. And I think when people compare him to Joe Rogan, they're wrong. Because he did completely different things. Howard Stern came up at a time where program directors were trying to basically make radio music take over for the personalities because it's cheaper to play songs than it is to hire, develop, create amazing shows. That's the long and short of it is. And what Howard proved was that when you have the right talent in the right time slot, people don't want to hear the songs. They want to hear the announcer. You just have to have the right person. And he had the right person, the right crew. And no, he did not wreck radio. Not at all. Not at all. What has held radio back is this constant push towards music only, music only, music only, and no development of personalities. If you go to Australia, if you go to England, other English language countries, New Zealand's like this too. And you see this in French media, you see this in Italian media, you see this in German and Belgium and all this. Their radio personalities are absolutely massive. I'm not talking about like, oh, they have a big show and my mom listens. I'm talking about like they're celebrities and they make millions of dollars. It's only Canada and the United States where, the radio, whatever. And that's because we haven't invested in top tier talent, but there's still some really great talent in American radio too. Like Elvis Duran, like the Breakfast Club, like Bobby Bones, like those guys are amazing. They're amazing. And their shows would be just as good if they did them on YouTube without music. All right. OT picks, and then we're going to play a clip here. Who's everybody's pick to score an OT? So for Edmonton, I have really liked the first line. And how obvious. But honestly, McDavid wasn't really a factor in the Vancouver series. Like, not at all. So I'm going to say Nuge. I think Hyman and McDavid are going to create an opportunity and Nuge is going to capitalize. And then for Dallas, the Ben Sagan line has been surprisingly good tonight. Does Sagan complete the hat trick or does Jamie Benn pot one? I'll say Jamie Benn scores. No hat trick from Sagan. Because it just so rarely happens. And who do I think is going to win the game? I think Edmonton's going to win the game. That's who I think. Now, we're going to play a clip. And this clip is the SDP talking about the McDonough trade, which, by the way, happened in the middle of the SDP on Wednesday. So have a look. If you're a Nashville fan, if you're a Lightning fan, you're particular, you're going to love this. Have a look and leave me your OT picks, by the way, in the chat, and I'll be back in like 8 minutes. Here we go. So the deal is McDonough and Edmonton's 2024 fourth round pick that Tampa somehow has. Nashville somehow has to Tampa in exchange for the 2024 seventh rounder and a second rounder in 2025 to Nashville.
What? That feels like money laundering.
So basically, Ryan McDonagh is back, and he was the guy that I think Tampa thought they really needed, and they tried to replace at the deadline with several different pieces. They dumped him, but I don't think they wanted to. That was the thing.
No.
When they traded him,
They couldn't afford him.
they couldn't afford him. And then I think at the deadline with Dumba, and there was somebody else. Who else did they bring at the deadline? They tried.
Claire, didn't they?
Cap Friendly doesn't even have this trade.
No, Chris
Wow.
Krenn. Chris Krenn is the one on my timeline at least that broke it. He is a Tampa Bay Lightning beat writer for the.
Oh
NHL.
my god!
Wow.
Yeah. So, long story short, huge piece for the Bolts. Nashville has actually announced it too.
I'm surprised Nashville moved off him. Did he have term left?
I think it wasn't that Nashville wanted to necessarily move off of him. It was that I think Tampa wanted him bad enough. And Nashville, McDonagh was really, really valuable for them in the first round. But I would say that Tampa, they can get a second round pick next year out of it, which means that they can move that at the deadline for something else.
There it is from CJ himself. So I think if you're Tampa, right? So Sergachev was out, and broke his leg when he came back. I'm sure he wasn't 100%. That put so much pressure on Hedman. But when Tampa won their cups, we were like, Vasilevsky. Oh my God, Vasilevsky. And like they scored a lot of goals. They had guys who could score crazy goals. Kucherov was great. Braden Point was great. Lots of other great performances. What truly set Tampa apart from everybody and helped Vasilevsky be as great as he was is their left side was Hedman, McDonagh, Sergachev. Unbeatable. Game over. Don't bother. Yes, they had to go to some suspect names on the right side. Didn't matter. At any given moment, Tampa had at least one of Hedman, McDonagh, or Sergachev on the ice at the same time.
Yep.
You're not winning. They're killing you. In the playoffs, forget it. Who do you even hide your best players from? I guess we'll send them at... Who? Sergachev? That sucks. McDonagh then? Okay. Bury his friggin' stick right beneath your pelvis there. Dude, it's... As a fan of an Atlantic Division team, I'm not thrilled. Not thrilled.
I think it's an indication that they definitely don't think their window's closing anytime soon. And I think, is it a precursor to Stamkos coming back?
Jesse,
That's
I
where
was
my
about
mind-
to say the same thing.
That's where my mind immediately went. Like, we're getting everybody back. We're doing this thing again. We think we're a lot closer than the Florida series indicates. And Stamkos is going to be a Lightning in a couple weeks.
Steven, we need you to take a big discount. I don't want to. What do we got to do? I want Ryan back. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we hear something to that effect. Or this makes it way harder to bring Stamkos back because they're bringing money in and no money went out.
I want to see. I don't remember off the top of my head what Ryan McDonagh makes. So
It's like 6 or something. Or 5.
let's triple check.
It's a lot
to
of
make
money.
Sure.
It's a lot of money. Unless he signed some extension with Nashville that I don't remember.
No. Why can't I do this quickly?
Spelled Mac
There we go.
Donach.
Ryan McDonagh, 6.75 for next season and the year after.
That is a
Which
lot
is-
more than I thought.
Quite a chunk of change.
He also doesn't suck.
Yeah, that's very true.
He has a
He was
no
very,
trade
very good this year.
clause, and I'm guessing he waived it.
The
I'm guessing he waived it.
the last time the Nashville Predators and Tampa Bay Lightning did a little tradesy doodle do, it was the Tanner Jeannot trade. Unless they did something in between that.
I don't remember, but
And-
I mean the Lightning got killed.
And in that one, I think we're going to all agree that they probably look back and don't do that one again just because of the draft capital. So They have a great trading relationship, something you focused on in the past about Kyle Dubas and the teams he loves to trade with. And this seems like definitely one that the Lightning seem to keep going back to.
So wait then. Tampa gave Nashville 2 more picks. And the pick that Nashville gave to Tampa is an Oilers pick. So what I'm trying to figure out, the trade tree senses are going off in my head. Are any of the picks from this trade from the Jeannot deal? And unless the Oilers one is, then the answer is no.
I wouldn't think so. I think these are other picks.
So is that Nashville? That's Nashville's picks?
Yeah.
For this upcoming draft.
They got that's a playoff team that nearly punched their ticket to the second round. They got a first, 3 seconds, 2 thirds, 3 fourths. They don't have a 5th, 6th, or 7th, but all the things
And
they just said are why you don't give a shit.
Add into this another second round pick in 2025.
Yes. Question.
Dude, another first round pick.
But it's conditional. It's conditional.
Oh.
Yeah, this was.
There is a condition.
Yeah.
Trade protected. Our top temperature. A question for you guys. Is there any way to look up the trade history involving McDonough to the Preds and then McDonough back?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got it there.
Yeah, I'll
There
do it in
is
like
a
half
way
a
to
second.
Because the reason I ask is I believe Tampa had to pay assets for Nashville to take that deal.
It wasn't a lot. If I remember, because remember there was one weird.
No, it was Ryan McDonough to the Nashville Predators in exchange
Oh.
for Philip Myers and Grant Mismash.
Okay, never mind then.
It was basically.
And then they also held money. They held money.
They did.
Yeah, because
No.
if you look
No,
at it, it's just
no,
the
no,
change
no,
in
no.
cap.
No, that's just the change in the cap. So they lost $4.2 million in cap space.
I know, but doesn't he make 6.7?
No, it would have said.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's the change in what their cap was. So
I see.
Nashville's
Sorry.
cap went up plus 4.2.
Because
Tampa
Myers was making way too
Yeah.
much.
Yes, he was.
It kind of screwed his career up a little bit because he was not a bad player, but he wasn't 2.55.
Interesting.
It's almost like how Connor Timmins like numbers screwing his career.
The one thing I do want to say is the Nashville Predators seem to be good at harvesting draft picks from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes.
I mean,
Between this and Tanner Jeannot, that's like it's pretty solid.
the list of trades Julien Brisebois has lost in recent years is a short list, but they include the Preds. Wow, that's a very big deal. And screw the Preds for sending another really good defenseman to the Atlantic. Thanks
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
think it's clear that Julien Brisebois, when he has guys he likes them a lot and will do anything to go acquire those players.
Nashville clearing space for Marner.
Just stop.
Not like that's not a ridiculous thing to say at all.
It's I know, but
Like Marner makes a lot of money getting $6.75 million outside of your team. It's not a ridiculous thing to say at all. They need high-end scoring talent. They have tremendous draft capital to build around this playoff team, as you illustrated.
He can play
And-
defense.
And he can play defense. In a pinch, he can be on the defensive side. It makes a lot of sense for this Nashville team to acquire a player like Mitch Marner, and now they have some cap room to do it.
all right, we're getting ready. We're back. Woo! Starting to get a loopy. Hey, what period of overtime does this game go to? And how pissed are Edmonton that really Dallas did essentially nothing that entire period and still tied it up? They can't be happy about that. Hey, by the way, Justin Fisher sent this to me. Aaron Backhouse, I missed your super chat, so here we go. Thoughts on Toronto getting a WNBA expansion team? Well, I think the thought that comes to mind is that it could be the biggest mistake Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment ever made. So, in case you don't know this, the team that is going to come to Toronto, announced today with Kyle Lowry and Drake and Olivia Chow and Doug Ford and all the people that are there, is going to be owned by a company called Kilmer Sports and Entertainment. Kilmer Sports and Entertainment is a company run by Larry Tannenbaum, who is, as you know, a part owner of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Larry is the one that people love, though. The other two owners are Bell and Rogers, who are, big, scary corporations. And they have personalities at the top. Ed Rogers Rogers, Mirko Bibic at Bell. But essentially, they're telecoms, and they're there to make as much money as possible and maintain their position in business, whatever. Larry made his money through construction, and Larry really wanted a WNBA team, especially when Toronto sold out the WNBA game that came here a couple of years ago. So the board met and they talked about it, and the Rogers side of the board would not agree to do it because their argument was the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment has 5 products, 3 of which lose money every year: the Toronto Marlies, Toronto FC, Toronto Argonauts. So so Ed Rogers and Tony Staffieri basically said, like, where are these guys going to play? And are they going to make money? And I think Larry Tannenbaum understands that. And I'm actually surprised Rogers didn't get this in the same way, or maybe they felt like it wasn't worth it. It's not about making money year over year on the team. It's about the asset value. It's not that this coffee cup makes money. It's that this coffee cup, there's only a limited supply of this coffee cup, and the value of it is only ever going to go up, with a few limited exceptions, like an international massive money crisis or something like that, like we had in 2008, 2009. So what Larry did was he sold off 5%. By the way, overtime's underway. He sold off his shares at a $8 billion valuation. Now, he sold off just a percentage of his shares, but the rest of his shares might be sold off in 2026. $8 billion. And that money that he sold them off for went to founding this WNBA team. So today we're going to get one, and it's going to be Larry Tannenbaum. And by the way, where are they going to play? Coca-Cola Coliseum. Why? Because Larry's got connections with Coca-Cola, and that's where they're going to play for now. And I hope they do some renovations to that building because it's old. It's old. It's good, but it's old. And WNBA, you watch the next 10 years. Well, you've seen the growth of it just with Caitlin Clark. Get ready. There's going to be like 6 Caitlin Clarks in the next 10 years. It's going to be spectacular for the city. I'm thrilled that we got it. And I think Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment are going to end up paying probably double or triple to buy that team eventually, because that's what'll happen. It'll just end up that Maple Leaf Sports ends up buying. Oh, McDavid with a big hit to the mouth on Duchesne. I don't know, though. It seems like they're fighting for the puck, but you have to be responsible for your stick. Let's see what Furlat and Sutherland say. High sticking. There you go. Adam, you can just buy them and call them the Toronto Grippers. I would never disrespect the WNBA like that. Oh, no. Did McDavid just lose this game? Actually, to be honest with you, the Oilers' penalty kill has been so good all game. So, yeah, they're just fighting for the puck, but you have to be responsible for your stick. I know Oilers fans are not going to like hearing that. The only illegitimate call that they have made on the Oilers so far was Dylan Holloway. Oh, it's 4 minutes. He's bleeding. So Duchesne was holding his stick, but that doesn't mean that he pulled it up into his own nose. Oh, that sucks. That mix sucks. Oh, boy. Gonna have to sit in the McBox and think about what you did. Damn. That's a wild call. That's a wild call. And by the way, Dallas got away with one earlier with Dylan Holloway. Should never have been called for that hold. But every other call the refs have had to make. They've been forced to make the calls. Edmonton, Kane had the stick up too high. Oh, that's already the best power play moment Dallas has had all night, by the way. Right there, what you just saw. Their power play has been garbage. And really, I put that squarely on Edmonton's penalty kill being amazing. And it has been. But they get a little mixed up here. Pavelski's exactly where you need him to be. And Ekholm ties him up at the right time. But this is going to be a real nail biter. Girthy Bettman, I've McFallen. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, boy. Wyatt Johnston up to Heiskanen.
Oh, what a save! I thought we had a goal there. Did that go up a post?
Oh, that went off the post. Oh, baby. These are the two best shifts that we have seen. Oh, my goodness. We were this close to the game being over. Pavelski right in front of Skinner. Oh, that would have been it, ladies and gentlemen, but it isn't. It's not. Wow. Robertson with a sneaky shot. How did Ben not bury that? How did Pavelski not bury that? Damn. 3:35 left. This has been an exciting. Look at the Dallas fans on their feet like we're going to get one here. That's what they're feeling. Post again for Robertson. Wyatt Johnston, I don't know what that was. I don't know where Wyatt was going to put that. That was a Cody Ceci-ass shot from Wyatt Johnston right there. Jamie Benn, Heiskanen, good save by Skinner. He's looking strong, looking solid. Damn. That was Mick close. Aaron Grace, if Edmonton kills this, McDavid might go sicko mode and win this single-handed. Yeah, that's the thing about McDavid is he can win things on his own. He hasn't done it a lot in the playoffs this year. I wonder what kind of it feels like an injury, right? Because he's usually dynamite in the playoffs. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, sorry, I'll do a clap here. But the linesmen drive me so crazy when they do this. They drop the puck and they go, no, I didn't drop it properly and you cheated and blah, blah. Stop. We are not here to watch you. And McLeod should give him shit. That's stupid. I can't stand that they're allowed to do that. There's your, he actually dropped it properly that time. Dallas gets control on that. They get the possession, which I'm sure Edmonton's thrilled about. Can you imagine the headlines tomorrow if that face-off, if McLeod had been kicked off, Dallas scores on that after all the penalties have been called? Boy, the media is just going to be bonkers if that happens. Adam, it's called Heiskanen. Okay, it's pronounced Heiskanen. Okay, well, fine. I'm going to call it Heiskanen forever now. You're just going to have to listen to that. What do you think about that? This is the best Dallas has looked on the power play all night long, and it's coming at the worst time for the Oilers. However, let me just say that the Oilers are still the Oilers, and they can kill a penalty. Ooh. Stuart Skinner's looking sharp, too. Adam, how are you at cartwheeling? I was never good at cartwheeling. Never good. I was never Mick great at it. Put it that way. Kev Bart would love to see Adam drop a puck. I can drop a puck, Kev. Funny how Dallas has committed no penalties in all game. Yes, they have. They've called it. There's been a Dallas penalty. They have been cleaner than the Oilers. Get your stick down. And listen, McDavid is one thing, but the Evander Kane one was like an immediate penalty. Dallas hasn't done any of that. I'm surprised too. Jamie Benn usually tries to kill someone. Maybe he's saving that for game 2 or game 3. Nathan Valiquette with the feet. Yo, no gripper content till we hit 1,000. 1,000 likes and we get the grips. 147 left on this power play. Harley bringing the puck out. I love watching him. Another player that you're like, for God's sakes, Dallas, how many people do you have in the system? Oh, bit of a turnover there. Jamie Benn. Onside. Johnson. Oh, we got a little bit of a thing. Okay. Pavelski's there. Here we go. Harley, nope, just over the shoulder. One minute 15 left on this power play. Listen, it's going to be dangerous for Dallas if Edmonton kills this penalty. It's going to be real dangerous. You let McDavid out of the box, he's going to be like that gorilla song, finally, someone let me out of my cage. And then he's going to go crazy on you. Adam, would you be able to come to grips with 1,000 likes? I don't know. Hasn't happened yet. Hard to predict. Aaron Grace, Dallas has to be the best drafting team in recent times. No? Yeah, I think they are. I asked Scott Wheeler about this the other day. I asked him. I'll pull it up here. I said, for your money, who's got the best current system of prospects in the NHL? And here's what he told me. Buffalo, Detroit, San Jose, Anaheim. And that's pre-draft. Detroit, Buffalo, San Jose, and Anaheim are all going to draft in the top 15. And obviously, San Jose and Anaheim in the top 3. Connor McEastwood. Well, we'll see. Kaylor Yamamoto, are the Stars best at drafting or best at development? You know what? It isn't just, you don't just pick people and it works. You do have to develop them, and they've done a really great job of that too. Adam, I own a Connor Brown Leafs jersey. Do you think I'm the only one? Absolutely not. Connor Brown was a really good Leaf, and they loved him here, which is why you bought it, right? How can you not root for Connor Brown? 1 minute left in the 4-minute Connor McHigh-sticking penalty on Duchesne. And I can tell you that producer Drew right now does not want Dallas to score here because he can't stand Matt Duchesne. He will never forgive him for what he did to the Colorado Avalanche, in producer Drew's view. Wyatt Johnson with a shot, misses. Harley, Johnson, Heiskanen. Oh, Robertson. Man, he's dangerous, eh? Whoa. It's fun watching Jason Robertson on the power play. I got to tell you, Blues prospects were the highest scoring in the World Juniors, just saying. Okay, listen. I ask Wheeler this stuff because that's what he does for a living, is tracks prospects. Connor McDavid is McFree in 2 seconds. It's McOver. Are we going to spring Connor on a breakaway? Here he is. Here he is. Here we go. Connor McDavid free. Doesn't have the best line mate out there for him. But that's okay. We like McLeod. We like Fogle. Ooh. Okay. Draisaitl kind of broke that up. Let's see McDavid go. He's going to go fast. McDavid speed, and it's broken up. And there we go. Hyman shot. Offensive zone faceoff. Do they put out the Edmonton first line? Connor McDavid, it looks like he was going to go talk to the refs again about this high stick. He should just probably leave it. Is the timer McBroken? It might be. Listen, it's not easy to update the timer. I can't believe I McDoubted Edmonton. Well, listen, it's not McOver yet. By the way, I know Jesse Blake's in the chat. Jesse, if you're here, how did the NHL Network go? You big superstar. How did it go? Oh, big win for the face. Evander Kane. Oh, my God. Ottinger with a good save there, and then Kane just missed the follow-up rebound. Leon Draisaitl. There we go, Evander Kane. There's Dylan Holloway. Pinned against the boards there. Matt Duchesne line out. Oh. So Jesse says the NHL Network was great. Jesse, I need to know. I just want you to know, Jesse, that you were on with Pierre Maguire. I need to know what he was like. I need to know what it was like to co-host with Pierre Maguire. Was it everything you ever dreamed of? Hey, check out this sick chirp from Sandwedge. Adam Wylde, more like Adam Borange. Boring with an E? Borange? Sick chirp. You could have gone with Adam Wylde. It's right there. I don't think people are bored, by the way. There's 1,400 people here. They could be anywhere else in the world, but they're hanging out in overtime. Dallas almost scored there, but they keep missing the net. You know? Rainmaker Okada, save it for tomorrow. I shan't. I gotta know. It's like Christmas. Jesse was on with Pierre Maguire. I think we officially made it. That's the officially made it sign, isn't it? And I say we. Jesse officially made it. I was not on with Pierre. Get wrecked, Badham. All right. McDavid, face off at center ice. There you go. 13:51 left in overtime. Here we go. Bouchard. Ben's got him covered. McDavid line is out there. Remember, I said Nuge is going to score for Edmonton. And then who did I pick for? Here we go. Watch. Here's my Nuge pick. Right here. Aww. Only one defenseman back. Oh, and I told you Ben Sagan. Oh, Sagan's not up there. They'd already changed. McDavid coming in. Over to glute power there. Zach Hyman he's in front of the net. Bouchard gets it deep. Sam Carrick, who's put together a nice little career for himself. Adam Kerr, do you think the Leafs could trade Marner to Detroit? I think Marner wants to win, so if you could get him sold on the program, I don't see why not. Detroit's a great franchise to play for. They got great owners, great building, great management group. Everything about the Red Wings is really A+. Detroit fans are amazing. And watch, he'll go and have an insane playoffs with the Red Wings too. And he gets to torch the Leafs forever. I think if you're Brad Treliving, though, if you're trading within the division, you better make sure it's the best freaking deal on the table. Because this is a player that could come back to haunt you for years. It'd be far better if he went to Utah. You know what I mean? Just so you don't see him very much. It would be a headline here. Jesse, do we like or hate standing fans? We like standing fans. We stand standing fans. Get up, enjoy. Toronto, we never get up for anything unless it's a goal. And I wish we got up more because there's a lot of sitting. And I appreciate how intense Dallas fans are. Has there been a huge opportunity for Dallas? A few times in this, but not recently to end this game. And the fans are still standing and they're chanting and they're ready. And they're all wearing green. Ceci with a bomb. Again, Paul Coffey told him to start shooting more, and he is. 90 miles an hour. He should be. Oh. Oh, that's sort of a bad play. There's Sagan. Oh! Oh, man, that could have ended the game right there. Just missed him. McLeod to Fogle. Dropped in. Ottinger behind the net. Please sit. I can't see a damn thing if you stand. Oh, man. Who did Sagan almost find here? I couldn't see the number. Oh, it was Dadonov. Sneaky, sneaky line tonight. Sarah Morrison, when will you be breaking down the Murello presser? Sarah, not likely going to happen. Jesse and I would have to do our own show separate from Steve, because I think that Steve would have a heart attack. And to be honest with you, it's such a burnt out story. It's like, enough. Do something. Stop talking. Do. Oh! Man, Ekholm almost put that thing away. Good save by Otter. Wow. Evan Bouchard passed to really nobody. That's okay. Edmonton comes up with it. Here we go. Zach Hyman. Oh, what a save by Otter. Wow. We got a wide open overtime here, folks. That was fun. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. That was fun. I'm excited. You see what I did there? There's Draisaitl. Oh, shot. Ottinger with another save. Standing tall. Both goalies looking sharp in overtime right now. Seeing the puck well, even in traffic. This is not the Stuart Skinner from your memories. Okay, here we go. So we got almost 10 minutes left. 10:06, 10:05, 10:04, 10:03, 10:02, 10:01. 10 minutes to go in overtime. Oh. Wow. This has been great. What an exciting overtime. Vendetta, McShitting my pants. Oh, here we go. Oh, great defensive play by Leon there. Damn. That, man, they turn it around again. And here goes Nuge. Kane, Nuge, Draisaitl. Draisaitl just saved a goal there. I swear to you. That was great defensive play. Man, you got to respect the Oilers stars. They play some serious defense. You have to respect it. Leon Draisaitl leading the playoffs in scoring, breaking up a play like that. Rita Homan, you're 30 seconds ahead of ESPN. Yeah, ESPN's always delayed on theirs. I don't know why. TNT never is, but ESPN seems to be. And again, I watch on TSN or Sportsnet, but Carrick behind the net. There's Ekholm. Yeah. Is that a whistle? No, not quite. Evan Bouchard's going to turn this around. I don't know why I'm yawning, because I'm actually fired up right now. I hope I didn't pass that to you. Aaron, I'm McNervous and I'm not even McCheering for anyone. Well, Jesse's trying to get the likes up. I see you in the chat, Jesse. We're still 300 away. We are still 300 away. So ESPN is 1 minute and 10 seconds behind Sportsnet. Maybe they're worried about, I know that the American networks are far more worried about swearing on TV than we are up here. I don't know why they are. They're so scared of it. In Canada, obviously they don't like it, but it's not like they're freaking out about it. I know that I have friends in radio in the States, and they're on like a 30-second delay. Jesse wants grippers. You can't get Pierre Maguire and grippers in the same night, Jesse. You can't have both dreams come true. Not possible. Not allowed. 300 likes till grippers. Yes. Hit the like button. Don't be a lurker. It actually really does help us. It gets us out in front of more people, which is cool. So if you do like it, it actually makes it helps us. It helps us, and I would appreciate the help. Adam, have you been in any multi-period OTs this year? No. I have not, Stuart. I have not. Yeah, I think I got 5 minutes into one, and I got a couple OTs in the first round. I can never remember this stuff. I always remember, like, Steve and Jesse can pick out games. They'll be like, it's this game and it went to this period and this minute or whatever. I can't do that. I know there was a couple OTs in the first round, and at least one, but probably two in Vancouver, Edmonton. But yeah, never more than 5-10 minutes in. We're actually at 1,000 likes. The likes are just on a time delay. No, you're not. You are not at 1,000 likes. Wow, we got 100 likes in the last couple of minutes, though. I don't know. Lightning fan here just started listening. You guys are great. Well, Logan, thank you so much. Thank you, Logan F. Happy to have you along. What are your thoughts on when announcers mention where NHL players played in junior? If they just say, like, I'm pretty sure Pierre Maguire was the king of that. There's two reasons to do it. Number one, it relates to a conversation that you're having or a point that you're making. Like, oh, that's another Sioux Greyhound player that Kyle Dubas picked up. He loves his Sioux Greyhound players. That makes sense. The other time that you do it is if you're trying to play to an audience from that area. So, hey, he played, player who played for the Windsor Spitfires scores a goal in Detroit. He's used to scoring goals down the road or across the bridge in Windsor with the Spits, and now he's doing it in Detroit. Otherwise, you're just sort of, I don't want to use the term, but you're kind of swinging it around. Like, I know this. I bet you don't. Ultimately, a couple shout outs to some junior teams are great because junior hockey across Canada and the United States, the NCAA and obviously the CHL up in Canada, support a lot of the players that make the NHL. So it's good to, support the small towns and stuff and the billet families and all that. But we do a lot of that. A lot of the time I find announcers do it because they're, swinging it around. Oh, by the way, we're getting close to gripper content here. Oh, 854 likes. Woo! Vendetta, is this stream going to go all the way if it goes into 6 OTs? You know it. The later this thing goes, the more people that tune in. We're almost at 1,500 people right now. I want to see Adam break Jesse's longest stream record. What did Jesse go to? What was the latest he went? Watching for the Sioux. Let's go Grippers. I'm a Stars fan, but because of SDPN, I'm emotionally invested in what happens to the Leafs. Thanks a lot, guys. You're going to be disappointed a lot. Hey, by the way, if you're Mick-liking, you must also Mick-subscribe. You better get on it. You better subscribe. I need to see some subs here, people. I just want you to know that. It's time. Hold on, how many subs? We're up. Okay, we're up in subs today. And that's probably because of you. But I'm just saying. We could use some subs here. Better click that subscribe button. 886 likes. No grippers yet. Glenn Roby Show. I love these streams. I moved out of Canada decades ago, but this is just like hanging out with my buddies watching playoffs. Please make this a regular season thing. I think we are, Glenn. I'm calling my shot. I'm doing it every week next year. I'm gonna pick 1 day a week. I haven't talked to Steve and Jesse about this, but I would like to do Mondays. But if Jesse or Steve want to do Mondays, then I will do Wednesday. One of the national nights. Oh, that was the best shot in a little while. We had kind of a back and forth thing. Woo! Wiggleman gifted 5 SDPN memberships, and Steeson Schiller just said, "Unleash the grippers." Not yet. We're at 902 likes. Not yet. What if they score before you get to 1,000 likes, guys? For that gripper content. I don't even know if I cut my nails. This is going to be wild if I have to do this. This is supposed to be it's going to be really hard to explain to people like, hey, so you do hockey streams. Yeah. these the sidecasts and the make us. Yeah. So why are you showing your feet in overtime? Listen, and you're doing it. Why are you doing that? Who's winning and which team is advancing? I think tonight not Dallas. I think Edmonton's winning tonight, and I'm rooting for Edmonton to advance. Oh, here we go. Bouchard at the point. I don't know why he did that. He just turned the puck over. He should have held it. That was stupid. Didn't love that. Haven't loved either team's ability to just hold the puck in the other zone. Adam, I watched the Easter epic between the Islanders and Capitals and went to 4 overtimes. And at 8:47, Pat LaFontaine scored. It was amazing. You know what? That would have been great. I loved Pat LaFontaine. He was fantastic. What a great player. All right, what are we at? What are we at likes-wise? Ooh, baby. Man, we're getting close to gripper content here. And people are asking, why are we doing this? Well, listen, people have been asking for gripper content, and I said, you got to get me to 1,000 likes. So, here we go. Bouchard. Hyman. Oh, McDavid. Oh, he's robbed. Absolutely robbed by the paddle of Jake Ottinger. I thought this game was over. I thought the grippers were staying in their socks. No way, baby. No way. How did he stop that? Oh, my God. All McDavid has to do is a little flick, but he doesn't have the time because the Dallas defense is all over him. Fast guy, I think, got on him. Oh, and Ottinger just keeps his cool. Wow. That could turn out to be huge. He is Mick stoned. Mick stolen. That was a crazy save. That was crazy. God, I love this freaking sport. It's the best. Oh, the announcers are using it now. They said it's a Mick wow for the goaltender. Ha ha. They're copying us, guys. Wow. What a save. Jim Nill looks like he's going to die. Woo! That was close. Connor took 3 to 5 business days to shoot that puck. He did McWade a bit. Wow. God, I love hockey. It's the best. You know what? I don't think I've loved hockey ever as much as I loved it this season. I think this has been my favorite season. And I say that with all the Leafs turmoil. I have absolutely just loved this season top to tail. The drama off the ice, the drama on the ice. Thanks to Mike Babcock for being weird and going through players' phones because that kicked things off basically first week of September, and we've not looked back. What a great year it's been. And I just hope we get a crazy conference final on both sides and a great Stanley Cup. Playoff hockey rules. I'm just having so much fun right now, guys. 963 on the gripper count. Jesse, I'm going to make 30 YouTube accounts. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can do that, Jesse. I don't think you got time. Yeah, this has been a great season. Just overall, generally in the NHL, fantastic hockey. Ooh, bit of an elbow there. They did not call that. I think Jamie Benn just got away with one. There's Fogle. Here we go. Are we getting close to grippers here? We're at 1,500, guys. 1,500 on the grips. I love that the diversity in style of the watch-alongs at SDPN. Steve with the elite play-by-play and screaming. Jesse with the memes. Adam with the neutral takes and great audience engagement. Keep it up. Listen, man, we all got to handle this our own way. And maybe I get the edge on Steve and Jesse with the gripper content because I don't think they're offering you grippers. You get me to 1,000. We're 13 away. Tim Roby Show. McDavid isn't the only one who's mixed stoned right now. I think Tim is talking about himself. We got 9 more likes.
Are you ready for the grips? 993 grippers for, well, not grippers. Those are likes. Here we go. Play has started. My boy Nuge is out there. I think he's scoring tonight. Oh, man, we are almost definitely at grippers. Oh, man, are we at gripper? Are we in gripper season? Oh, shit! We're at 1,000, baby. 1,000 likes. Oh, I guess I'm breaking out the grippers. Okay, I'm not doing it mid-play. Gripper content upcoming. I'm going to have to put on a show for you guys. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some gripper content. But we got to strive. We got to achieve. So when I said gripper content, I didn't say full foot. You might get a glimpse, but we're going to need to get to like 1,500 likes before we get to full foot on screen. You might, I think there's going to be a gripper tease. Yeet feet. You guys are sick. Oh wow, the goalposts move. Okay. It'll be, but we gotta keep shooting higher, right? Okay, I'm not doing this right now. I gotta wait till the period's over at very least. Right? All right. Damn, the chat is going berserk right now for the grips. This is insane. This is the most crazy thing I've ever seen in my life. Full foot only. Man, there's no more hockey. We're not watching overtime in the conference finals. We're only talking about grippers. All right, guys. Guys, I will give you grippers, but there's 3 minutes of overtime left here. Let us focus. But amazing that we got to 1,000 likes. Amazing. What a save by 97. Hesitated. OT stole him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do love, by the way. Thank you everybody who has super chatted or gifted memberships tonight. Wiggleman, you're up there. Taylor, thank you for your super chat. It means a lot. It means a lot that you guys do that. It does support. Skinner has been excellent. Tendy's going crazy. Get a grip. Man, I love that there's people are trying it. We need a recording of this sound for the podcast. Oh, I can't even keep up with the chat right now. It's all foot content. 244, 1 grip, 2 grip, red grip, blue grip. Ew, Steeson. Ew. Dude. Jesse, I blame you for this. This is not organic. This is Jesse juicing. This is Jesse putting the chat on steroids and getting us to gripper content. Bring out the dogs. Taylor Perot, get a grip. This is insane. The chat replay is going to be cursed. Yeah, it will. This is wild. How am I supposed to, with a straight face, go on the NHL Network tomorrow night? Like, Jesse went on tonight as a professional, and he's like, I'm here with Pierre Maguire. I am going to have to show you my feet, and then I'm going to go on tomorrow with somebody who's super smart and really a part of the community. And what am I supposed to do? Huh? Yeah, cool. Let's talk hockey. I just showed off my feet online last night. For free, by the way. I didn't even start an OnlyFans. You know, you can bark. I can't. This chat's insane. This chat's insane. This is not organic, so they couldn't serve it at a Neil Young concert. That's right. Only organic ketchup. Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. This is chaos. Imagine you're new to this. Like, you just see this come up on YouTube and you tune in and you're like, what the hell is this? Isn't this supposed to be sports? This is insane. Nathan Valaket, you said 1,000 like for grippers. You're welcome for the likes, Adam. It took us 3 rounds, but we got it done. Nathan, I know you've been here since the beginning, buddy. And we finally got to 1,000 likes. I think the closest we got before was like 700. Let those toes hang out, Adam. 1 minute to go until the grippers come out. Oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. This is so funny. Oh my God. Woof, woof. This is so bonkers. Oh man, you guys are making me laugh. 57.8 seconds left. There's a hockey game going on. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Adam, are you getting cold feet? No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you 1 foot. I'm giving you 1 foot. Okay? I'm giving you 1 foot. I'm giving you one. And you're going to get it as soon as this period's over. Somebody said it wasn't free. It cost us 1,000 likes. Well, thank you. I do thank you for your contribution. Oh my God. This is so, you guys are maniacs. How do I explain this to my in-laws if they ask, guys? Tim Roby Show, wear flip-flops tomorrow night for NHL Network. Make it your gimmick. Grippers for Prime Minister. Oh, I thought we'd have had one for McDavid there. This line has looked good. Here comes Stankoven, all by himself, though. Nobody with him. Why change now? There's only 10 seconds to go. We're going to a second overtime here, folks. It's happening. And there will be intermission gripper content. Oh, Tanner with the shoot. Shoot, you got to shoot. All right. Oh, man. Oh, God. All right. SDPN asking for a friend. How do I explain my... Patrick James, dude cares more about the chat than the game. No play-by-play commentary, just talking about the chat. This sucks. Hey, guys, do we agree with Patrick that this sucks? Or are we excited that we're getting grippers? I don't know. All right, you ready? So here's what we're going to do. We have a clip that we're going to play. Hang on. We're going to play a clip. But first, I'm going to give you the grips. All right? I'm giving you the grippers first. So we're going to play a clip about the Canucks, which is relevant to this because obviously the Oilers just beat the Canucks. Now, let me do this. Now, let me do this gripper because you guys gave me 1,000 likes. Let me do this stripper style. I'm giving you 1 foot. 2 feet is for 1,500 likes. So that's our next goal. So let me just take this off. Hang on. Ooh. There's my Lululemon sock. Inside out because I just took it off. Are you guys ready? Hayden, get ready. We're cutting to the clip as soon as the gripper gets on screen. But first, I must show it off. Are you ready? In 3, in 2. Whoa! Oh, no. Is that a... Oh, dude, I just screwed up my mic. There it is.
Dude, they missed Brock Besser so much. Mm-hmm. They score on that power play. Who knows? We might be talking about a completely different winner today.
Well, and I think even before Besser and the unfortunate blood clot happened, I think ideally, if you're the Canucks, you need two more forwards next year. Of skilled players. Because listen, they had a good first line. They had the Suter, Miller, Besser, right? Pettersson and whoever. And then they had a really good third line with Lindholm, Garland, and Dakota Joshua. It was the second line, I think, where Pettersson was forced to play with guys like Linus Karlsson, and no disrespect, but like that's not a guy that's ideal.
Yeah, but you gotta drive.
You got to drive, but no. Like I think it's like, okay, so if we took Matthews and we put him between two guys that really are not that great, or let's put him between David Kampf and Ryan Reeves, who are not great on offense. I'm sure he'd still score. It would just be less.
They played him with Noah Gregor. They played him with Pontus Holmberg.
Yeah, but who else was with him?
Okay, well,
Mitch Marner or William Nylander.
JT Miller played with better line mates than Elias Pettersson because JT Miller produced.
Mm-hmm. And last night, Tocchet gave Pettersson to Miller. Like that was the
they
first
got the
line.
lotto line.
It was the Mikheyev Miller Pettersson line, and Mikheyev had a chance early on and he couldn't finish on the nice little one-on-one with the goalie, and they didn't didn't look bad, but they also up until the final 8 minutes of the game, they didn't really do anything. But you can say that about the entire team outside of Connor Garland, who was exceptional throughout the entire.
Yeah, man, he was great.
Really
Yeah.
good. Leaf fans, if you want to get mad all over again, go look at the chances Mikheyev had in Game 6 against Montreal. That's when I saw him not be able to bury that one. I'm like, there he is.
Yeah, he's not a finisher.
But he's always in the right spot. And he's so fast. Just score.
The upset Vancouver fans in the chat called him a passenger.
Mikheyev?
Yeah,
He is.
He's been
He
a
is.
passenger
He
all
is.
season long, and I was trying to give him some credit, being like, okay, but that's his role shouldn't be to be your big scorer. Like he's been kind of doing it. If his job's to get out there and just kind of do the dirty things for that line, like he's been okay at that, but he's also just been riding along, doing a lot of cardio. And I'm not gonna argue against the Vancouver fans who think he's been a passenger this season.
What's that, Jesse?
What's up?
Oh, yeah, sure. I will tell you Ilya Mikheyev's buyout because a lot of people were asking yesterday. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 1.15, 2.15, 1.15, 1.15.
I think you just keep him for at least another year.
I don't know if it's that bad. But, we're talking about...
That's what I said. That's what I mean. The Canucks need a couple extra productive forwards. Somebody tweeted it out or something. I don't know if it was at me or whatever, but man, what the Canucks could really use Toffoli and Tanev this series.
Man, well, you know,
and they could have had him.
You know what's funny? You mentioned, they could have used a couple other forwards. They unloaded Anthony Beauvillier for nothing.
And then he went on to play them.
Well, yeah, and then he went on to play them in the first round. But also, there have been Brock Besser rumors for years, and then he friggin' went off this year. But we were talking about Connor Garland at the beginning of the season, in October. It was a foregone conclusion he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is their cap.
JT Miller was almost a Penguin.
Oh!
Had the Penguins had Hextall figured out the cap situation, JT Miller would have been a Penguin this year.
Right. So, they were trying to unload all these forwards. Pettersson's getting an enormous raise, and they need more.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just needed a healthy Brock Besser, and a couple guys get a little older, and they'll be fine. That and their starting goalie. Shilovs was really good.
I don't.
Not Thatcher Demko.
Demko wouldn't have helped that Game 7.
I don't think so
there's
either.
no.
You don't think?
I also don't know that-
Shelov saved. I think 3 clear
He was
goals that
incredible.
should have been in the back of the net. Every goal Edmonton scored was a goal I don't think any goalie's really stopping. There was no.
They were outmatched.
You have the greatest goaltender in the net last game. I don't think they win the game when they have no ability to generate offense outside of the end there. And with the other guys in the forward group, I think you expected more from Lindholm. We're talking about you bring in the forward group. You expected more from Lindholm, getting him at the deadline there, and guys like Lafferty, you expected to step up, and you don't get anything there. And they're obviously missing Besser, but if you look back to games 6, and even if you go to 5, the Canucks finished the series. It's either 0 for 18 or 0 for 19. I'm pretty sure it's 0 for 18 on the power play to end the series. Brock Besser was in those games, their forward group didn't produce offensively at all. You can't win a series when you can't score on the power play.
Well, you can't score on the power play. You get outshot into oblivion, which is what happened in the first round also, even though you won. Rick Tocchet, I think as a motivator is incredible. As a speaker, I think is incredible. I don't know if he had the greatest playoff, man.
He didn't adjust in the Nashville series when Nashville was shutting them down, and the only thing that got Vancouver through that was they were very opportunistic on the goals, right? They were consistently outshot, consistently outpossessed. And then you take it to Game 5, and you're like, oh, Vancouver could actually do this. But in Game 6, Edmonton really put down the hammer. And what was interesting, the Game 5 to Game 6 comparable is in Game 5. Edmonton comes out, dominates the first, and then Vancouver really has the second and the third period. They really do win it outright. But Edmonton in that first period, I think, learned something, and they were like, oh, we can just do that for 3 periods. And the next game they did, and there was no adjustment again from Tocchet and the coaching staff. I give the Edmonton penalty kill credit, but I look at the
give Edmonton credit. I mean, they won.
But I look at the Canucks power play, and it felt a lot like the Leafs, where you've got too many stars on one. And it's weird because whenever Toronto played its second power play unit, it seems like things got done. Whereas, you look at Vancouver's second power play unit, and I thought they were more productive at times in this series. And I think you got to spread the wealth around a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I know the power play is going to suck up a lot of attention today. I mean, 5-on-5, it wasn't close. And it reminded me of games 1 through 4 of the Leafs Bruins series. The Canucks were doing dump and don't chase. They were just, here you go, here
Here's
you
the puck
go,
back.
here you go, here you go. And I know you're just trying to get it out. And every now and then, that's okay. Sometimes you just got to survive. But every shift, they were surviving.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
think
was it. Like, they were playing with fire from basically puck drop.
to Adam's point about Tocchet and his kind of not having a great playoffs, I think it leans itself to he needs to be able to adjust the style of play for Vancouver to lend itself more to the playoffs, because the way they played in the regular season, which was very successful and very impressive to watch, was they were able to generate a lot of neutral zone turnovers, and when they get those chances in the offensive zone, they're able to capitalize them. Like every single chance they'd get, they didn't need a lot of them because they would always bury it, and it led to like some people looking at their stats and being like, oh, they're on PDO benders, but that was just kind of how they played. That was their formula for success, and it worked. But when they get to the playoffs, you can't low shot your way to victory in the playoffs. It's not an effective strategy. And what they're doing, putting up 17 shots, putting up 15 shots in a game,
And they're not high quality shots. Let's put that way.
And they're not high danger shots either. I believe they had the third lowest shot total ever in the playoffs through their first
10 games.
First 10 games of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You can't win that way.
Gripper Nation, let's go, baby. I've just been reading this chat ever since. And I got to tell you, there's some sick minds out there. This is one of the funniest things that I've ever been a part of in my entire life. All of us behind the scenes, just so you know, all of us that are still awake are freaking howling. And I think Steve went to bed, so I don't think he knows this is going on. Giggling Cat said, I am from Florida and just wanted to have something on in the background to tell me who wins. And I just found out what the F grippers are. Guys, if you're here, you're a member of Gripper Nation. You have officially obtained your gripper status. And that was absolutely hilarious, especially the people in the chat who are like, no matter who wins this game, we all won. Like, just ridiculous group of people. You are and we are. I love this. This is awesome. So funny. Now remember, you don't get full gripper until there's levels of grip here, right? There's levels. We get up to 1,500 likes. Well, now we're talking 2 feet, right? You got the right foot last time. You get the left foot next time. You get both feet at 2,000 likes. So we gotta have a ladder here. I gotta have achievements. We gotta unlock upgrades. I can tell my wife I've finally seen the grippers. LOL, Adam Foot. Yeah, I like that. Gripper Nation. Hashtag Gripper Nation. Just saying. 2,000 likes and it keeps moving up. Listen, guys, we got to have, if you're mad at me for doing these achievements, but did I come through for you? I came through for you at 1,000. We got the grippers going. Steeson Schiller, what do we think for new merch? Noted gripper client, Gripper Nation, or the grippening? Oh my God. That's wrong. That's wrong, but it's funny. That's wrong, but it's funny. Luke 123. I'm unliking this so we don't have to see more. Nemkes, I'm literally listening to your stream at the game. Did you see the feet? In Australia, we say gripper. Yeah, gripper. 5K likes, and you get to look at the grip nails. Oh, God, that's so gross. So we got Dangle Navy, we got the Crab people, and now we got Gripper Nation. All is right in the world. Thank you, Mark. Yes. And now that you're here, and since you're all here, you're all a part of Gripper Nation. Congratulations. If you've never been a part of a club, welcome to mine. I just want to say, you guys have made my absolute night. It's been so funny. Rita, too bad this isn't in person. We could stick dollar bills between your toes. True. James Scaresbrook, Kyle Dubas loves his feet. Irwin came for the Adam, stayed for the grip. Corey Perry, grow the nails out for 5K likes. Yo, you know what's crazy? It's funny. It's so funny because everybody's in on the joke, and it was such a stupid throwaway comment. By the way, this if anybody's wondering, if anyone cares where this came from, Jesse and I were doing a stream for the draft in Montreal in 2022, and we were in Montreal. Steve was doing Sportsnet, and Jesse had the crab people, and so I just was like, well, I'm going to have the feet people, and that's where this has all come from. And it's never gone away. Like, people were listening on that stream, and they've been bringing it up ever since. Anyway, you guys are crazy. This is so much fun. Adam, should I be concerned with Gripper Nation? No. Gripper Nation has been building for a long time now. Gripper Nation started as something small, but has grown into something bigger. I think Gripper Nation hit a new gear tonight. And we got to be proud of Gripper Nation. The legend must continue. Adam shows feet. Jesse gets oiled up. Steve watches. Whoa. Listen, it's after midnight, but whoa. Robert, if I had a nickel for every time I saw your feet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. True. Producer Hayden, I guess, was trading texts back and forth with Robert. And he was saying, he's like, I'm crying so hard. I got Robert asking what our job even is. Quote, yeah, my boss showed his feet on a stream last night. Guys, listen, I'm the one that's got to go. As I told you, Jesse, who's an absolute maniac, started all this. But Jesse went on NHL Network tonight. I got to go on NHL Network tonight and pretend I can't bring Gripper Nation to NHL Network. We can't do that. Not yet. All right, we got overtime. There's a hockey game on. Natalie Drake, hey, I made it. First horse show update. Pikachu, your horse, was very overwhelmed by all the people and signs and stuff, but he did his best, and I'm proud of him. Natalie, congratulations to you, and I'm so happy for you and Pikachu. And you know what? That's what practice is for. That's why we keep doing these tournaments. They're practice, so you'll have another one. We're back, baby. Oh, it's over. Who scored? Was that McDavid? Wow, it's over, baby. It's over, baby. They're going to look at it. Oh, they're saying no. They're reviewing for goaltender interference. If I were Edmonton, I would just take my clothes off, take all my equipment off, not take my clothes off, take my equipment off and get on the bus. Just get on the bus. Go, leave. Sorry, can't do this. 32 seconds. Connor Mix scored. CJ Cable gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, CJ. That is a huge one. Thank you. It always means a lot when people give subscriptions. I cannot tell you how much that means. That's huge for us. Wow. I don't think that's goaltender interference, by the way. I know they're looking at it, but I don't think so. If I'm the Oilers, just leave. Simply leave. Look, Chris Knobloch's trying to leave. He's like, yo, get me the hell out of here. That's a goal. That's a goal. Guys, Gripper Nation, we saw a double overtime classic and some toes. Is that not a perfect night? Look at the viewing party in Edmonton. Everybody's having a good time. Let's have a look at this goal now. McDavid kind of coasting in. Perfect place. Scores a goal. Man, what a great setup. He's completely uncovered. How do you allow Connor McDavid to be that open? Wow. You know, it's interesting. Hayden put together a really interesting stat package, and they were talking about in it how, and I'm sorry, Hayden, I didn't get to this as much as I should have, but the least good defensive pair for worst defensive pairs for the Oilers and for the Stars. You ready for this? Nurse Cece, which we knew. The worst Stars defense pairing is Lindell and Tanev, and they're the ones that are trying to match up against McDavid. That's for expected goals, goals against expected over 60 minutes. Wow. Just crazy. So, guys, listen, Gripper Nation, it's been a real fun time. This was the most fun I think any of us have ever had on chat, outside of, the Leafs winning a game in overtime or whatever. But you guys were all of just a bunch of beauties and had an absolute ball with you tonight. So remember, it's Friday. That means tonight, believe it or not, tonight, Steve Dangle is going to take on the Florida Panthers New York Rangers game. Probably less Gripper content in there, but you never know. I will be on NHL Network during the second period Friday night as well. And then Saturday, Gripper Nation returns when Edmonton and Dallas meet for game 2. Okay? Love you all. Producer Hayden, Robert Malloy, Jesse Blake, Justin Fisher, thank you for making this stream so special. I love the team here, and I love you. Gripper Nation, love, 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 love. Oh, Fiona, I almost missed your super chat. Is it just me, or has there been a lot of OTs in this playoffs? Yes, but they've been super short. Super short, except for this one. Love you guys. You guys, honestly, I can't wait to talk about this on the show tomorrow. This is freaking hilarious. I'm going to wrap it up. I don't want to go. I want to just hang out. But I know we got to, and I got to go to bed and all that stuff. Love you all. I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you for hanging out. Please come join me Saturday. We're going to have a great time. And by the way, 2 things on Saturday. I'm in on the mornings for Monaco Grand Prix with Tim Haraney. We're doing an F1 qualifying megacast, sidecast, which is what we're doing now. And then a Saturday night, we're doing this again, Gripper Nation. Love you all, and I will see you later. Let's wrap up the show.